Today both Tifa and I got to use public transport, but only one of us has a story about it for you. But before we get to that, welcome in Psycho, welcome in Dark Lord, hello everybody. It is indeed not Wednesday, but the quote system works again.
Sure.
Thanks to the power of looking things up on the internet.
That's the positive side. Before we even go into the public transport story, which is not as bad, but just really annoying, I kid you not. Today, or last night, mosquitoes had a meeting in our room.
Apparently, yes.
On my hands. I have 9 mosquito stings.
9.
On my hands. 9. Just on my hands. Let's not even talk about the rest. But they all sat in a circle. They all sat in a bloody circle, had their meeting, while sucking me dry. Yeah, that's plenty, thank you.
Well,
And
you're
it's
the one that
itchy.
keeps donating blood, so they figured you're good to go.
Quick, before she's out!
Basically, it makes sense.
And it's not in actual circles, but I have one on my knuckle here, one here, I have one here, I have 2 on the side of my hand. I've got, well, this one falls outside of my hand, so I'm not counting this one. I have 1 on the side here, and I have 2 on the other hand, plus on my knuckle here as well.
This is your fall
I
time
think that's more than 9.
in the Northern Hemisphere stream time reminder that you should moisturize your hands. Or any part of your skin, but if I do the rest on stream, I'll get banned. So it's just hands right now.
Yeah. So if I scratch myself like I have fleas, maybe I do, who knows.
She
But it's
doesn't
because
have
of
fleas.
the mosquito stings.
She shouldn't have fleas, not as far as I'm aware.
I think it makes me itchy all over though.
Well, that's what you deserve for having tasty blood.
That must be it.
As I was trying to read, I still watch Jimmy here. What is, or who or what is that Dark Lord? He lost a lot of weight and he's still a rollicking good time.
But don't you mean you're watching Jimmy there? Because Jimmy isn't here.
That is true. You're watching Jack here. And Tifa hearing us. The slurfed. Tifa, what is a slurfed? Would you remind everybody?
Charades.
A Dutch diver having forgotten to attach the hose of the breathing apparatus to the oxygen tank, slowly drowning with the thing flapping in the water.
Yeah. See? Charades also.
It was that easy.
It's the, I don't know what it's called in English, snout of an elephant.
It's the terreur.
It's the terreur of an elephant, exactly.
It's where the terreur comes out of. Terreur is the sound German elephants make. That's the onomatopoeia we use.
You
It's
could also
the-
use it...
the
Oh, trunk.
trunk.
Yeah. You can also use it as a nickname for your penis. No?
I think having a lot of junk in the trunk is a cool and hip way of saying you got a big booty. I think if you refer to the blingus area, it's just junk.
If you like slurped words.
Only if it goes terreur. At that point you should see a doctor about it. Jimmy here is literally the dude who made the "It's Wednesday, my dude" thing.
Oh, that's an actual thing.
I did not know that.
I thought you
I
just-
didn't know the person had a name. That's awesome.
I
Thank you.
thought "It's Wednesday, my dude" is just something you said. I've never seen it as an actual thing outside of this chat.
Okay, you thought that honest_psycho invented the hit phenomenon "It's Wednesday, my dudes," usually posted together with an image of a frog.
I have never seen that. I've never seen that in combination with a frog, or have I ever seen it posted on the parts of the internet I visit?
You go to the unfun parts of the internet. Memes don't spawn out of the ether.
Yeah, but I've never seen it
Sometimes they
as a
do.
meme. I thought it's just something you said once and stuck with it, which I can appreciate.
With
But I
a
didn't know
frog,
it
yeah.
was an actual thing.
At least the German version of a meme usually on Reddit is with a frog. I think. That's where I've gotten it from. That's why I didn't know there was a person attached to the whole thing. I just thought somebody came up with it, and then it took its usual meme life cycle where people just keep bringing it up because, you know, in the grand scheme of things, to post on the internet a cute/funny picture of a frog and it's Wednesday, my dudes, is nice. It's very, very harmless. I like it. Frog editor on top of it later on. I had no idea. Thank you for educating us.
I am now googling this. It's
Tifa is learning as we
Wednesday,
speak.
my dudes.
Oh shit! I know the person.
I know the frog.
I don't know the person. I know the vine. That was a vine, right? Yeah, 6 seconds. There it is. Yeah.
I know the frog, not the meme.
The what's it? Raindrop frog? I think it is. Yeah, I can see a picture of it.
Turtles, never ever seen the dude.
Yeah, I've seen the vine. Yeah. Tifa smells like a baka. Also
Okay.
another meme.
The more you know. I need to watch that with sound on later.
Only seen it with Jimmy dressed like Spider-Man with some goggles on. I have once or twice, and I thought he got it from the memes with the frogs. I got my timelines crossed, which is very Higurashi of me. But talking about things that are kind of Higurashi, this next thing isn't. I went to the office today, and I went there, and everything was fine, and then I came back, and everything was fine. But Tifa, that wasn't the experience you had.
I also went to the office
today during your public transport.
It's not even that bad,
Audio.
It's just really annoying. On the way back, this group of, I don't even know what to call them. I'm gonna call them spiritual people came in.
You sounded with disdain, so it sounds
because they annoyed me as hell. It's like the Reiki
spiritual people,
wives.
derogatively.
And while in the train, they decided it was a great idea to start burning incense and start chanting. Like a weird cult. Who the fuck goes into a train and starts burning incense? Incense! That goes straight to your brain.
But isn't that only not allowed between like siblings? Unless we're talking Alabama, of course. Sorry.
That must be it. But like, why would you do that?
Because I can, and I am the main character on this planet, and I feel like burning incense in this train and chanting stuff, so I'm gonna do this because I have no regard for the privacy and the just wanting to get to their destination unbotheredness of other people. I put myself in their shoes, I don't think that way. I just get in the train when I get out at my station. It's that simple, people. You don't need to do weird stuff.
I'm not even sure if it was really incense, but it has that strong pungent smell that just gets everywhere and goes straight into your brain.
Incest after all.
But it didn't have a lot of smoke. At least I didn't see smoke come off of it. Usually it has the smoke for calming effect as well. And no fire alarm went off, despite them being in there for 3 stations having that shit on. But like, please don't do that.
Yeah, don't.
Just triggers instant headache.
Generally, don't burn things inside of a small room, especially not a moving one like a train.
You sometimes have people that come into the train smoking as well.
Because they're assholes.
They're assholes. That is
if you're smoking in a train, you're a piece of shit, and I hope that you get wet shoelaces. I caught myself.
But I think
I caught myself.
Smelly or burning smelly sticks brings it to the next level.
Because people really like that.
It's more intense than smoking.
Some people like that. Do they not have smoking cars in Germany? We used to have them.
Oh, that is really 90s.
We used to have them.
But is that still a thing in the US?
They are so much so a thing that with German railway, I think up until I could be wrong, but last time I checked, I think up until a couple years ago on basically every, not ticket, but seat reservations, because over here was two different things. You can get a ticket, and if you don't book a seat, there's a chance you have to stand for the duration of the journey if it's like long distance train. Different part. Anyway, if I recall correctly, up until a few years ago, like well into the 2000s, I think, long after we stopped having smoking cars on trains, the seat reservations still would specifically say non-smoking. That's how ingrained in the system smoking and non-smoking cars were.
Nowadays you still have to say that, because otherwise people go like, it doesn't say it.
No, you don't. It's just non-smoking everywhere. But I remember...
But it says that, is what I'm saying. It says it on the door and stuff.
Oh, like that, yeah, there's like pictograms and stuff. How to not be a piece of shit in a train in Germany, you know? Don't be super loud, don't bother other people, don't smoke. But I wanted to say, I remember as a kid, until I was like 10 or so, I think, people smoking in trains.
But back then, people smoked everywhere.
They still do.
Yeah, but nowadays, inside most restaurants you can't. There was a time you could smoke in every room. Then they had like specific smoker rooms set off. Then those were removed.
Germany banned smoking in trains in July 2007. Only in July 2007.
Well, it says they were already smoke-free before.
Yeah, some regional ones, but the whole country didn't do it up until that point.
So did they look Catholic or Buddhist?
Spiritual.
That's a good question. Dark green, wavy clothing. Dark green, black mixture. With bead necklaces.
Okay.
At least 2 of them.
Does that ring a bell?
If that was you, then...
Fuck you! Also, I love how you had the annoying experience and I'm the one actually saying the words and Tifa's like, I'm mad at you. If you act like a piece of shit to other people in the public, I reserve the right to call you a fuckwad. Just don't do that shit. Like, if you want to be an asshole, do that in your own home.
It reminded me of a very specific store in Amsterdam, near the square, in one of the...
The Dam.
Yeah, near the Dam. In one of the side streets, you have this pretty big, like, spiritual shop, if you recall.
Oh, the fairy one.
Yeah, the fairy store. And they also burn incense within the store. And it is so strong there. I really like walking through the store, because I do find those shops kind of fascinating. But if you go in, it gives you an instant headache.
It's called Fantasy Shop Chimera, like the mythical being. If you Google pictures of it,
oh yeah,
if you ever have seen it, you will recognize it. If you just based on the description, it's like a fairy store. It's like a
it's
a
also
mythical
set up
beings, foresty kind of thing. It looks really nice. It's a tourist attraction to the point where it's even featured on the iAmsterdam website.
That I did not know. But it's a beautiful little shop on the inside as well. But I cannot stay in there for too long. And that is the smell that immediately got triggered. It's just really intense.
I feel like some perfume stores also overdo it over here. Like
when you go into a Douglas.
Yeah, I think the biggest chain we have / had, because I don't often ever really go into like beauty stores or like fragrancy perfume places. The biggest one I think is, the Germans call it Douglas. That's also how they pronounce it in their commercials, but I think the chain is called Douglas and it's an international one. They go heavy on the smells. And I don't know if that's the store.
It's from all the people trying the perfume.
Or it's that, which is what I would have said if you let me finish my sentence.
No, I'm on a time limit.
Tifa is excited. Douglas, basically, it's like the name Douglas, except for some reason Germans sometimes pronounce things funny and they go Douglas.
I also say Douglas.
Because that's how they say it in the commercials.
I've never seen a Douglas commercial actually.
Somebody pulling fireworks outside. Where did I get them from?
If someone now tells me it's pronounced differently, I'm not gonna stick to that.
Douglas. Douglas? Douglas. No, I think it depends on what country you're in. Because they're in multiple countries, no?
We have them in the Netherlands as well. I don't recall if I saw them anywhere else. Never paid attention to it really.
Is a German multinational company specializing in perfumery, not perfume, perfumery and cosmetics. Blah 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 blah. How many stores do they have? Does it say on Wikipedia? Lots of text.
They're growth in Europe. They're
Netherlands,
in Germany,
France, Italy, and the US. They're everywhere apparently. You know what's also everywhere? Dark Lord, if everywhere is our streams. Thank you for 45 stream streak.
Love.
Can also depend on if you've read the Saga Song of Beagle Sorrows. That is true. Hopefully that doesn't smell like intense incense.
Yeah, I really dislike the smell of incense.
I couldn't tell you when I smell it because I don't think I ever have, or at least not knowingly. I can tell cigarette smoke and I can tell weed because I've been to Amsterdam a couple times.
Yeah, cigarette smoke you can also tell quite quickly.
That's the thing that gives me headaches.
I can usually tell which colleague is coming up from behind me if I don't hear the footsteps based on the cigarette smell, because all of them smoke something different.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they realize how much it clings to you.
Here's a weird, maybe, observation from somebody who doesn't smoke, and I hate smoke. I hate smoke to the point where if I inhale too much, I get a headache. I'm pretty sure I'm not allergic or anything to it, but it pisses me off. Question to those of you who smoke. Do you also notice that sometimes people go for like a smoke break and then they come back and they don't smell like they smoked? And other people go for a smoke break and they come back and they smell like they've eaten the tobacco factory.
Well, it depends on what you smoke.
Is it just the difference in cigarettes?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't smell people after a smoke break. I mean, I don't mean for anybody to go to random people and go like, what a nice scent.
You usually can already tell when they come into a train or they sit next to you or they walk into the office. You can immediately smell it with the majority.
Some people absolutely stink. For me, it's a negative connotation because I don't like the smell. Some people absolutely reek of cigarette smoke, and others can go smoke 2, 3, 4, whatever, and I cannot tell.
I think it really depends on...
And I don't know where it is.
On the stuff.
I find it weird.
Especially my colleagues are pretty heavy on their
My
stuff.
colleagues are pretty. Good for you, Tifa. Nice. Most people smoke at home. That's not a thing where I live. Not sure I know anyone who likes the smell of smoke altogether.
I think most
Some people do.
Don't mind.
I like the smell of tobacco. Like if I go past like a cigar store. And I know that makes me sound fancier than I am. For some reason, I don't know if it's everywhere. But at least in the Netherlands it is, I think. Usually, there are high-end cigar stores, of course. But usually it's like a trifecta between cigarettes, lottery tickets, and then sometimes cigars. And if I walk past one of those, I can smell that. And I don't hate the smell of tobacco, of unburned cigarettes, I guess. I only hate the smoke.
Never smoked a single time in my life.
Same.
That's a good habit.
Same. I always found it horrible. Just the smell and everything of it. Not even once. Don't plan to even.
I've never smoked, but I have smoked the shisha.
You've never smoked a cigarette?
I never smoked a cigarette, yeah. I think that is different. That I have done a couple of times, but other than that, I've tried smoking. Didn't really see the appeal.
How do you describe shisha for those that don't know? Because I don't know if is that a German thing? A hookah.
Hookah.
Yeah, exactly, like hookah. Because
I thought shisha was the international term.
I think pronunciation is very different, hence why I exaggerate. Because if Tifa goes, yeah, I've smoked a hookah once, I think that can land you in jail. You use a hookah to smoke shisha.
Oh, fair.
There we go. Well,
the more you know.
She did that once. My pocket money was better invested in video games. Exactly. I did the same thing. I'm pretty sure for a large part of my childhood, every last bit of my pocket money would always go into video games. Like I would save up exactly until I had enough to buy a game, and then I would go buy a game and then I was broke. I mean, I was a little kid, I didn't earn any money, I just had my allowance, but I was flat out broke. I either had money towards a video game or none. Never extra. Until I was like 19 and started working.
Sure.
And then the first Steam sale happened. And then I realized how much money I was spending on video games. I mean, I still bought a couple to treat myself. Gotta live a bit.
I never got pocket money. And I got so annoyed when, for a time, my younger siblings got pocket money. It's like, I never got pocket money.
Wait, you didn't, but your siblings did? That's fucked up.
Don't forget, there's a 10-year difference between
That's
me
fucked up.
and my little brother. But I know, right? It's
Tifa.
like I didn't get it, so they shouldn't get it. And it's like, I didn't get it.
We all have to suffer together. Things can never improve for younger people.
Exactly.
No.
And it's like I didn't get a phone until I was 13, and then they were like 10. And the moment they went to high school, they got
Tifa?
a phone already. I remember being so annoyed at that.
I hate your siblings now.
I know, right?
They don't deserve anything. How much allowance did your siblings get?
I don't know, like $250 a week or something.
Okay. If you do the math, we can put some katana money aside to pay you out a weekly allowance in hindsight. I think that would be really cute. Then you get $125
I
a
would
week.
like 1/4 of my salary every week.
I don't have that kind of money. You earn more than I do. I literally cannot pay you that because you earn more than me. Oh well.
Can't even quit my job here.
I'm the hopeful one day stay-at-home husband.
Don't count on it.
That would be nice. Well,
I had ambition once, I have learned.
it is what it is. I used to work at a Taco Bell, so my uniform smelled so heavy of corn taco shells, but I could just never smell it myself.
Yeah, at some point, like you said, you become nose blind. Certain things you just don't smell anymore.
You become what?
Nose blind.
Is that a real word? I think you... Nose blind or olfactory fatigue. Holy shit, that's an actual expression.
Wasn't the one who actually said it first, but yeah.
Oh
but
shit,
I know
yeah,
nose
Dark Lord
blindness
mentioned it, yeah.
is a thing.
Oh, I had no idea. Maybe I should read comments in the order they come in and not
Like it's
jump back and
like
forth.
when you stay inside the apartment for
Yeah, you don't
2
smell
or
the
3
apartment.
days.
Yeah.
You don't smell it. But then if you leave and you come back, it might smell moof all of a sudden. Moof,
Yeah.
Dusty. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Like you should clean.
Like the windows haven't been opened for a while.
Air out the place. It smells like a puma cage here. That's what the Germans would say.
Yeah, but it's like that.
It's a puma cave here. How did you never hear nose blind? I've heard things that express the same thing, just never the expression nose blind. Because, I don't know, like explaining like you get used to a smell when you can't smell anymore. Yes, but specifically nose blind, never once. Cool, I'm learning more things today. I like that.
I learned it's Wednesday, my dudes, is a thing. You learned that nose blindness is a thing. This is an educational stream.
I think it's time to end the stream because it's only gonna get worse from here on out.
We've had our highlights.
Well, you should end when it's the nicest.
Sure.
Usually spend whatever pocket money I had on volumes of Sergeant Frog and Excel Saga or Run My Half. I remember learning that manga exists because that never occurred to me, and I loved watching Run My Half on TV. And then I also learned that anime exists outside of the TV channel programming. And then I went to the bookstore and I learned that Run My Half, the manga, was completed and like 32 volumes, I think, in Germany. And then the next time I had enough pocket money, I bought all of them.
I think we have all of them in the closet.
We still do. Actually, I'm lying.
They're in between my books.
First, I did the most Jack thing possible. So, here's the setup. I, as a 14-year-old or whatever, go into a bookstore and I learn that my favorite anime is actually based on a manga. And apparently it's complete and there's 32 volumes. I don't have enough money to buy all 32 volumes. They were like $5 each. I don't have $150 in my pocket.
Oh, that's cheap. Nowadays, that's like $15 for a manga.
It was the early 2000s.
Or for a volume.
What do I do? What do you think?
Tifa? Ask that.
No, what did I do at enough to buy a couple? But what did I do specifically?
To get the rest?
No, in that moment, I realized there's 32 volumes. What do I do? I cannot afford all of them.
You pay for the ones you can, you steal the rest.
That's what Tifa would have done. No, I go, there's 32 volumes. So I'm gonna get 16. That's the middle of a story. And I'm gonna get 32. That's the end of a story. If I like 16, that must mean I will like the story up until 16. That's a good thing, right? And if I like the last one as well, that means I will probably like the entire thing, so I should also get the second half.
That's an odd logic.
So I bought number 16. I was very confused because I knew most of the characters, but I didn't really get what they were doing because it's actually one long story.
I thought you said you bought up until 16 and 32.
No,
but you just bought 16 and 32. Oh my god.
So I read through 16 and I was like, okay, the parts I get are nice. And when I got 32, I was wholly confused because
this sucks. What are they talking about?
No, because suddenly I had no idea what was really happening because it seemed like something was coming to an end, which it did. It's the last volume. But then I thought, I liked how it ended, so when I have the money to buy the other volumes, I will buy the other volumes. And to this day, I do a similar thing. If there's a movie I'm unsure about, I go to Wikipedia, I read how it ends.
Not even if he's unsure, by the way. Every movie we will watch, he will have read the full Wikipedia.
I haven't done it in a long time.
We also haven't seen that many movies lately.
We've watched a couple.
Not that many.
Yeah, we have. We've watched Moana 2 the other day.
That's true, but you already knew the story of Moana 2.
No, I didn't. I had no idea.
Then I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. And before we watched another movie. Oh yeah, Tifa made me watch the Minecraft movie.
I had such high hopes of the Minecraft movie. I saw the trailer and I was like, this seems so bad. It's gonna be absolutely glorious. So I was looking forward to finally watching it. And I have to say, it was really disappointing.
It wasn't for me. It was not for me. I'm pretty sure it was chock full of moments to make the Minecraft kids go, oh my god, it's the best thing ever. I can just picture that. I couldn't.
It just didn't hit. The first 5 minutes of the movie could have been its own movie.
That should have been its own movie.
It should have been its own movie and it probably would have been awesome. Mm-hmm. Then I felt like, oh, maybe I wasn't the right crowd, but I felt like all of the jokes kind of landed flat.
You need to play Minecraft to understand most of them, I think.
Yeah, but even though I understand the game, and I know what you need to do with it.
No, you don't. Otherwise you would have gotten the comments and the
It's not that I didn't get it. I've played Minecraft for a bit. I just didn't like it. But I...
So you haven't played Minecraft enough.
Yeah. But even then... It just didn't seem like... I'm not the Minecraft crowd, I guess, but nothing...
Flint and steel! I was sitting here like...
Nothing landed.
Those are things. Chicken jockey! I'm like... That's what that appears to be. I only know chicken jockey because of posts on the internet about the poor people working at cinemas having to clean up after that scene in particular because people went apeshit. Wild. However, welcome in, Mommy, and thank you for the free stream streak.
Hello. Thank you very much.
Watched a version with my friends where they didn't have half of the special effects. It made it almost watchable. For me, like, the writing just didn't work. But again, I don't think I was the audience, so it's like, I've seen it, It was on a streaming service we're subscribed to, so I was like, well, I didn't pay specifically for it.
I even wanted to watch that movie in the cinema.
I'm so glad we didn't.
That's how high my hopes were up.
I've been so disappointed.
Even Jack Black couldn't save it.
No, not for me at least. But really, the first 5 minutes should have been the basis for a Minecraft movie, and that could have been something I would have enjoyed.
The intro seemed the coolest, actually.
Yeah.
And then I skip over that.
Then they introduce the B-plot for the movie, no spoilers. And then I'm like, I actually like this. This movie could still turn me around, and then it doesn't. And then the movie is over, and then it's like, okay, I'm glad I was playing video games on a different screen at the same time, because I don't get that time back.
Do you want to check with the closest item you have?
Factory reset. But Psycho, wait. Okay, now I go back to spoiling myself, because I haven't done that in so long, and I've done it less and less. I mean, the logic for me checks out, because now I'll do it twice as many times. The logic for me checks out. Do I want to sit down and pay full attention to something for like 90 minutes to 2 hours? If I go, nah, then I just don't. Then I save myself a time. And instead I replay video games I've played 100 times and realize that it doesn't really scratch the same itch the same way anymore. And maybe what I wanted was something nostalgic, but I realized that nostalgia... Anyway. Update on the shiny Alolan Vulpix hunt. I've passed the 1000 eggs mark, and in exactly 4 more eggs I'll reach double odds of 1024.
And not a single shiny yet. Ooh.
You're gonna get so many shinies of all the ones you'll go for after that.
That is dedication though. And
that's a lot of omelets. Oh god. Imagine Pokemon egg omelets.
Like at that point, I don't have the dedication anymore. I've wanted to do that once, and then after like 2 or 3 eggs, I got so annoyed on having to hatch eggs, I gave up on the shiny hatching.
Tifa once said to me, oh, we could also do a shiny hunting stream, and I told her, no, we don't. We don't. And then afterwards she tried for herself, and after 15 minutes, can't have been longer than that, she was so fed up with it. I'm like, and that's what I figured would happen. No, I've gotten a shiny already. These numbers were for the second shiny only. The first one was about 630 X in. Congratulations, Mame, on getting 1 out of the 2 shiny Alolan Vulpix you're looking for.
It's too many eggs.
That is dedication. You deserve all of them.
Too many eggs.
Come soon.
You know what also uses dedication?
Tifa stealing the recap intro with a good segue.
I know. Usually all of my segues are good. And Tifa, honestly, you have to...
That segue was so good, I'll allow it.
Oh,
that's one of the highest honors I can bestow upon her.
That really is.
Yeah. I wouldn't piss on a segue that good.
No segue.
Only breaks. Welcome in, Benjima, and no.
We are due for one.
Not quite yet.
How are you doing, Benjima? But yeah, you really have to do the recap because I don't remember.
Lead into it.
I already did.
No, you didn't. Okay, thank you, Dark Lord, for the gift sub.
Love. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I'm tried. I'm sorry, Benjima, to hear that you've been tried.
I get that.
I guess you were saying you're tired. I'm also sorry about that. I slept surprisingly well.
Point proven.
Yes.
Thank you for the gift sub, Dark Lord. I don't know if I said that out loud earlier, yes or no. But Jack, what happened last time we played Higurashi When They Cry Matsuribayashi?
You mean Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 8 Matsuribayashi?
Yes, that's exactly what I meant, Jack.
Can you tell that the game screen is right there, and in the top left corner is where the title is, and Tifa totally didn't read it? What happened to my hair? Oh yeah, me. What has happened? We are still stuck with our wonderful God Oversoul spiritual guidance in the space between the worlds. That's the sound we make when knowledge. And we are still tasked with doing what Hanyu couldn't do over the span of 100 years, which is to investigate all the different fragments of the possibilities of how the Higurashi story can unfold. Basically filling in the blanks of things we haven't seen yet, or establishing further things, giving us some more backstory, answering a couple of questions we might have had. Basically seeing the things we haven't seen yet that Ryokishi still came up with to round out the story. And then we have to connect all of these fragments to be able to move forward with a perfect version of June 1983, so that hopefully this time everybody can get away with their lives.
Basically, yeah. I don't think last time we learned anything mind-blowing. They were just smaller scenes, nothing new.
Fuck you. So, first of all, we had Tifa had an oopsie daisy where instead of Daifuku, she said Dai fuck you. That was funny. I haven't forgotten. Last time we not planned, but accidentally spent a lot of time learning about Irie. And I feel the biggest thing we learned about him is why he became interested in psychosurgery, aka lobotomies.
Fair.
Apparently his dad, who has been a wonderful husband to his mother for decades, had a work accident where he got hit in the head, and after that his behavior started to change. And Irie later learned about how the brain works, or how they believed it did back then. And he thinks that if he had been able to perform psychosurgery, lobotomy on his dad, maybe he could have fixed it so that he wouldn't have become abusive towards his mother. Things like this. His mother also eventually died hating her late husband because of him having become a monster, basically. That was that. And we had a talk with Satoshi, because flashbacks, where Satoshi said that he feels guilty about being burdened by Satoko being around at home with Teppei and the aunt, because he has to look after her as well. And that's his sin. I think those are the two biggest things.
One last biggest thing was that Satoko was put into the hospital after some test. It turned out she was on L4 stage.
She is in the terminal stage of a terminal stage. I had to read that like 4 times.
Takano wanted to start dissecting her to learn more about it. For some reason, and I don't think it was because Irie didn't agree, they kept her alive for like 2 weeks in the hospital, I'm guessing to observe her. And no dissection took place yet, and we don't know what happened after. That's a different scene.
I have a strong feeling that the fragments we will need to go through aren't just the good parts, but also fucked up horrible things. Because in the end, I guess we'll have to see what can happen, what should happen, and what should not happen out of all the possibilities. Thank you for the 1 bit, Dark Lord.
Thank you for that bitty.
Dark Lord cheered 1 bit and has cheered of a total of not available. Thank you, Twitch. That's nice of you. Thank you. Not available, my ass. Meanwhile, what crime did Penjima? Penjima is when Benjima gets really into calligraphy. What crime was Benjima tried for? Being tired. Guilty indeed. Tifa, are you ready for higgering some Russies?
I am ready. I am going absolutely insane.
Please stop scratching, it looks unsanitary.
They're also at the worst places, like right on the side of a knuckle. Like, where do you even want to suck the blood from? Like, couldn't you find a better vein or something? Like, this is pure... It's like it's on pure skin, pure bone. Like,
now my hand gets itchy looking at her.
Then this one is actually the most annoying, because this one actually is right on the vein on my end. Like, I just complained that they don't. But they had to find the most annoying place for a vein. Then you have the ones on a knuckle, and you have one on... I didn't even count that one earlier. The one on my watch wrist line, which gets triggered every time my watch touches it.
I heard incense smoke drives them away. That is... I think I've read the same thing once. Yeah.
I have tried everything. I've tried candles. I've tried lemon-scented candles. I have tried mosquito spray. I have had mosquito cream. I have a mosquito light in the...
That actually kind of works.
Yeah, there's like 6 or 7 mosquitoes dead inside there already. But first they bite me, and then they get pulled into the light.
And they die happy.
Yeah, they die with a full belly. I think that's all one can ask for, but still.
That's why the femoral is the best place to drink from. Mom just planted a huge camphor tree in her backyard.
Does that attract, or...
Why would anybody want to attract mosquitoes, Tito?
You have certain plants or trees that are natural mosquito attractors and you just don't know it.
That's you. I don't need a tree for that.
I don't have green thumb, so I don't plant shit.
That's true. Tifa, are you ready to higu some rushies?
I am ready to higu some rushies.
Bam! Connecting fragments. I will give a mouse over to Tifa because she hates how I pick the next fragment.
That is true, but I kind of forgot where we are.
The way you go, I cannot assist you, Tifa.
Research. Wait, research have hit its first snack. We've got that, but no instructions of the kidnapper.
Please stop. You're giving me a seizure. What is the snack that we have hit?
One of the thingies was that Irie and Takano were stuck on their research for several weeks and nothing was happening because they couldn't figure out how to continue and they needed test subjects and stuff. I would call that a snack, being stuck on your research.
Alright, cool.
Completion of the medicine, we haven't had that. High fevers, we haven't had. Bottle of wine for toast, I know we haven't
We did
had.
acquire rock candy. Oh, while Tifa is making us all go nuts with how she scrolls through this.
Oh wait, we've already done this one.
We also had a scene where Rika went shopping with Satoko and realized how badly Satoko is being treated by the villagers. That was sad. Oh my god!
What?
Preview of lots for sale. Keiichi's dad mentioned that he specifically chose this particular lot in Hinamizawa because he drove to Hinamizawa looking for a place to move there and he saw 2 pretty and cute girls playing in the field. And the picture has Hanyu and Rika. Hanyu is 100% visible somehow. Not always, but somehow.
Oh, that's a good point.
Sorry.
I don't recall the description other than the fact that they had long hair.
Yeah, true, you mentioned the long hair.
So that works. Ryugu family's move? Have we had that? No.
The Ryugu family has not moved yet.
We have to have the watermelon. Satoshi's awareness of his sin.
He is aware of his sin, but the Furude couple has not yet died.
Tea set being put away, that also doesn't ring a bell. A red capsule.
No. And you're at the end because pages 6 and 7 are the final fragments. We know that part.
Then we need to go through again because I didn't spot anything where I think...
Do we start in the back or in the front?
Well, let's start at the back.
That's the front, thank you. Satoko Hojo's detailed test results. We don't have those yet.
No, we do. That is the L4, L5 thing.
Okay, are you saying also that Irie has made a decision?
That I don't think so. Or
C103, dose experiment. This fragment can't be connected yet.
No.
So we don't have
one of the decisions he was still pouting at was dissecting Satoko.
Yeah, and what that makes him.
And he did not decide yet whether it's something he would refuse or not.
What was your last kakera? Yesterday evening before I went to bed. I feel like it's a bit private, but if you ask that bluntly, I'll just tell you.
Could that be the discontinuation of Satoko's dissection plan? But we didn't discuss a discontinuation yet.
We do have Irie's motive. I am not aware of a discontinuation of a plan.
We only discussed
the possibility.
Yeah. Let's keep this one in mind because worst case it is that one. 3rd year's curse of oyashiro-sama was not discussed.
No 2nd year curse has happened. We've had the death of the dam construction worker, and we have now already off screen, outside of the script, had the death of the Hojo parents.
Were they third year?
Second year, I believe. Third year is with Furudes, I think.
Okay, then that one is still open. We do have the L5 stage patient dissection. That's the first guy that they dissected in the hospital.
But the Queen Carrier must be willing to participate, and I assume that is still Rika.
We don't have that. Live specimen for research. That's Satoko. Hey, it's this one.
We do have that. The first sacrifice. That should work.
It is that one.
Possibly Irie?
What was the first sacrifice?
Yeah. So I'm guessing...
Irie or Takano?
Or Rika.
Let's go with Irie. Irie seems likely.
I was half asleep, so I didn't even hear the phone ringing nearby. After a while, I finally realized the phone was ringing. And a ringing phone means there's some kind of an emergency. It's 2 in the morning. Who would even call me at this time of the night? Hello, this is Irie.
I'm sorry to bother you, Dr. Irie.
No, you're not, you sick fuck. It's Takano-san. One sec, I'm getting rid of my tea bag tag, which is making sounds, and usually I get mad at Tifa for doing that, but today it's me. It's Takano-san. She's never called me for a personal reason. At the Institute, she's ranked just below me, so she's basically responsible for running it. So for her to call me this late at night, it must be an emergency. I guess Satoko went critical. Sorry it took me so long. Is it true that we have another terminal patient?
Or this is just before Satoko got... Yes. I was hoping to find a living specimen, so this is perfect.
I initially thought that she'd abducted someone. As you should. Because it's the most likely outcome.
High stress.
The man had already been moved to the research area in the clinic's basement.
Oh, this is the guy they start dissecting.
Having been tied down to the examination table, he's struggling against his restraints, but more as though he's deranged when actually resisting. I can't even understand what he's saying. He sounds angry, sorrowful, and like a child throwing a tantrum all at once. So this is the guy who killed the damn construction worker. I assume.
I don't know if it's the same guy or not.
It's obvious that he's not in the right state of mind. Anyway, let's put him under amnesia. He might kill himself otherwise.
Under amnesia?
Yes. Oh! Anyway, let's put him under anesthesia. He might kill himself otherwise.
You would have gotten a Joker, you know?
No. No, Tifa. When I read my lines, there will be gravitas, there will be decorum, and there will be order. At least I try to. Sometimes.
Well, all you get from me are die fuck yous. I wanted to observe him a little longer, but I guess I have no other choice.
This is so peak Takano and why I despise her as a character. Oh, there's somebody suffering. No, I'll watch.
How else are you gonna get results?
Takano goes to the zoo, to one of those where the animal is kept in a way too small enclosure with no stimuli, and the animal is just pacing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, completely conked out of her mind from the whole experience. And Takano goes, fascinating. Everybody else goes, this is sad. This is why people hate zoos. Takano goes, oh my god.
Sad, but fascinating. You can feel both.
One of the staff with a white gown got the anesthesia ready. And the amnesia. Even a normal person would struggle to escape a restraining table in this suspicious room. But this man's behavior is at an abnormal level. I'm sure Konogi-san and his friends from the Mountain Dogs are the ones who captured him. Capturing a man in this state of mind couldn't have been an easy task. Do you think the zoo would pay me to live there?
If they do, let me know.
They might. Depending on the zoo. I think it was a couple... You would have to look this up.
A Chinese zoo, yes.
A Chinese
they would absolutely.
Zoo put humans into the enclosures but made them dress like the animals. So it isn't like one of those fucked up things from the early 20th century where actual people were put in zoos. Like, oh my god, these look nothing like us. Usually people that they brought in from abroad.
I think Belgium had one of the last human zoos in the 1960s.
Yeah, but I cannot confirm that, but it would check out. It's very in line with horrible things Belgians have done.
But yes, there was a... Yes, mommy.
Yes, mommy.
There was a Chinese zoo
Not
that
you.
made the news a while ago for having pandas in their zoo, but it turned out they were actually humans
In
paid
panda
to act.
outfits. Yeah.
And a different animal who they could also feed.
It was a dog. Coiffed and the fur dyed like a panda. But there were dogs.
No, it
100%
was an
there were
actual human, also dressed as an animal that the zoo would let you feed. And every couple hours they would swap out the stuff because of the amount of food they were given. And I don't remember which animal that was.
Hey, isn't it weird that the panda in the enclosure is eating McDonald's? Don't they usually eat bamboo? Can confirm I was one of the exhibits. Mame, I'm glad you got out. It shouldn't happen just because you and I have brain damage. Deep cuts.
Let me quickly double check when the last human zoo was.
Imagine getting through at least one fragment in peace.
1958 in Belgium.
Of course. Not even 70 years ago.
Oh, well, I was pretty close. Yeah.
There are still people living that might have gone to that last zoo in Belgium. According to Takano, she ran into this patient on her way home from a clinic by accident. She brought him back here, tested him, and the result came back positive. Of course, I have no intention of just believing what she's telling me. But there's no question that this man is at the terminal stage, and the live specimen is exactly what we need to research the syndrome. Who is this man anyway?
He had something wrapped in a newspaper. And what do you think was in it?
Fish and chips.
A hand. Or foot.
Ugh. What is this? There's something wrapped in a bloody newspaper on a tray nearby. Looking at the blood-drenched paper, I can only imagine there's something gruesome inside of it. And that's why the last culprit and the last body part were never found, because the area clinic got rid of it.
That's a nice touch.
Potentially, literally.
Yeah.
If it was a
nice touch.
grabby part. Yeah, Takano-san looked like she wanted to surprise me with something interesting. Oh God, this is awful. It's a bloody right arm. The man on the table still has his. This right arm doesn't belong to him. So, who does it belong to? Sure came in handy, yeah.
It really did. I would put that in a jar.
If the guy who's on the restraining table was on a wanted poster, could you label him the one-armed bandit?
Yes.
I'm used to looking at things like this as a doctor, but the horrible cross-section makes me want to look away. It wasn't done according to a medically acceptable method, that's for sure. It was obviously done out of cruelty.
And that was probably butchered, especially depending on where that got cut.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't that easy.
Don't you want to say hi to the guys over there?
I was gonna use your arm, but...
Yeah, we had the same idea, except mine wasn't straight.
I remember watching a Japanese action movie, and there is one where someone's arms...
Kung Fu Hustle.
That could be. There's a scene
It's an
where
American movie, by the way.
someone... Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was Japanese. American movie then. Where someone's arms get ripped off, and this guy just grabs them and basically kung fu's all over the place with their ripped off arms, and the scene is hilarious.
Spoilers for Kung Fu Hustle, but really you should watch the movie anyway, because it isn't about moments like these. It's just
It has
a
one
roller coaster.
of the best action scenes, and I believe it was filmed in one shot, because I don't remember any cuts during the fighting.
Couldn't tell you.
All I remember of that movie.
It's really good. You should watch it.
This amazing action scene.
Very descriptive.
Well, I
There's this
just
amazing
gave part of
action
it.
scene.
I don't want to spoil the rest. I'm surprised you still remember the name.
Of course I do. Trust me, if you've seen Kung Fu Hustle, you remember that you've seen Kung Fu Hustle.
Well, I remember, I've seen it. You just don't remember the title.
And this is where I look up spoilers for movies, people.
Judging by the situation, we can assume this man cut off this arm.
So he's the culprit behind the body dumping that's been occurring in the neighborhood? At that point, there was no way of knowing who the right arm belonged to. But the next morning, the dismemberment murder of a damn Finally, the typo has happened. The damn construction site director.
Damned construction.
I've been waiting for it for 1.5 years. I've made this pun so many times. Thank you, translator person. Thank you. You finally got.
Also, I'm gonna sue them because now the rating doesn't make sense anymore. Now it's no longer PG-16 or PG-13.
This has never been PG anything. This is adults only, I believe.
Oh, wow. Then why isn't there more, I don't know, blood? Why do they censor things?
Higurashi, age rating for Germany is 16.
It should be 18.
I just quickly checked on Steam. Why?
Are
you done disrupting now?
Yes.
How did chapter 1 start?
Yeah.
But the next morning, the dismemberment murder of a damn construction site director was reported, and they mentioned that his right arm was still missing, so we learned who the arm belonged to.
This man has a criminal record and he's on probation. Yet he committed another crime. I bet he dismantled the body in order to hide it.
Damn isn't allowed in PG-16 media in Germany? No,
I don't know.
It is. It 100% is. I mean, this whole of Higurashi chapter 8 is 16 in Germany. So I think the bar is very high. Very high. It's hard to get past that. I think chapter 3 might have been 18 and over because of child abuse topics.
I somehow doubt it. It doesn't go into...
It does. There's no pictures of it, but there is very vivid descriptions.
Yeah, but not vivid enough, I think.
Look it up yourself. Don't listen to Tifa or me talking about things you can verify easily yourself. I'm sure it depends on the circumstances, but you'll get more than just a few years in prison.
So you won't hesitate to dissect this to come back like him, right?
Who knows? Maybe he was a scumbag before and became violent due to the syndrome. Or maybe he had gone straight but became violent again due to the syndrome. The former is one thing, but if it's the latter case, it's not his fault. And that's why doctors operate and heal everybody. I think it's part of a Hippocratic oath that they don't go into the, oh, but who is this person? And that's why Hinamizawa syndrome is so terrifying. You can't tell if a syndrome is the cause of a crime or if it's simply a problem of a human nature. But what causes a defect of human nature in the first place? That was precisely Irie's area of research. Hate the crime, not the criminal. Can criminals only be corrected by punishing them with imprisonment? If a person commits a crime because of a mental disorder, but then gets treatment, he is corrected. In other words, there are no crimes in this world, only patients awaiting treatment without anyone else being able to understand them. I wish I would agree with that. In medieval times, patients with mental disorders were said to be possessed by demons and they were either confined or killed. Centuries after, they were finally acknowledged as mentally ill people who needed treatment. Perception can change with time. Even if they are called criminals now, maybe after several centuries, those criminals will be acknowledged as patients who were entitled to appropriate treatment. Explaining crimes through illness instead of malice. That's my life's work. Hinamizawa syndrome is a strange disease that can support my theory. Solving its mysteries is extremely important to me. To solve those mysteries, I need a medical sacrifice. It's an extremely sinful thing to do, but there's no way to unravel this without it. The Irie Institute was authorized to take such drastic measures if necessary. And that's why I was asked about it so many times when I accepted the position of director. Exactly. Some people, unfortunately, are beyond help and need to be separated. I agree with that.
I also agree with that.
And finally, the opportunity is here. This will be the first step of our research on this strange disease. But even now, I'm a little hesitant. I've opened up human bodies in many surgeries. What I'll be doing on this man is something very similar. But there's also something that's very different. What I did before was part of a treatment. I did it to save a patient's lives. I did it so the patients could have a better future. But what I'm trying to do here isn't treatment. He will die at the end of it. His death will be far from humane. I'm going to violate nature and force him to stay alive while I open up his living brain. That's fucked up.
Director Iri, are you listening?
Sorry. Could you repeat that?
I mean, sacrifices have to be made for the greater good.
Do they, though?
To make advancement, yes. A lot of our medical, especially medical research advancements, have all been because of sacrifices.
Advances, Tifa. Stop making up more words. There is no comparisons. There is no advancements. What is it with mints and you lately?
I don't know what it is.
There's a Tifa mint and a recap mint and a Dark Lord mint. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of a few, or the one. I get that.
That's been said to justify these things.
But I don't know, in my perfect world I would just inform everybody in Hinamizawa, hey, you're infected with this, could you please sign this waiver if you are willing to, should the need appear and you do become a victim of this disease in that state, that we do perform the surgery on you so that we can find the cause, hopefully. Again, it's easy being a utilitarian if it's not you on the dissection table.
Yeah.
And that. Yes.
We're all in favor of something until it affects us negatively.
Yeah.
That's the way it will always be.
100%.
I believe it's best that we submit the dissection proposal to Tokyo and request their assistance. He's not only alive, he's also in the terminal stage, so he's an extremely important specimen. We must conduct the dissection very carefully.
That's true. You're right. Let's do as you say.
I think we'll have a few days before the dissection. So I want to run some reaction tests once he's off the anesthetic.
Do you think that's safe? Even if he's restrained, we don't know what will happen.
We finally have the opportunity to test a live specimen. We can't only look into his brain.
I also want to look into his bulliness. You don't know whether pathogen enters the body. What if it's like one of those urethra urine fishies? They exist! That's a real thing. I forgot where in the world, but there are fishes that are attracted by something in urine. So there are plenty of stories where guys go into water, then they relieve themselves and suddenly they go because a fish big enough to notice went and shot barracuda style into your ding-dong. Good luck getting out of the water and realizing there's a fucking fish stuck in my dick.
How do you explain that at ER?
Yeah.
I didn't put it there, I swear.
Another lake pisser, doctor! The dreaded Kandiro, is that the name of a fish? That tells you that nature has a sense of humor. That's so messed up. If the adrenaline kicks in, we need a lot more belts. Yes. So many belts, he's gonna end up looking like a Final Fantasy main character. Belts and zippers, belts and zippers, belts and zippers. Takano-san's unusual cheerfulness made me feel odd. Maybe her reaction is normal. Maybe I'm the one who's not reacting normally in this situation. I'm here only for the research. So I should be excited to have the opportunity to perform our first live dissection. But I'm still hesitant. How can I call myself a researcher? The researchers of the past were brave enough to cross the line, and that's how they accomplished many things.
Speaking of crossing the line though, the thought of dissecting, dissecting humans in particular, I find really fascinating. And it's something I would have considered as a profession if I wasn't dumb enough. That was my second preferred job after trauma doctor.
I'm sorry, you're talking about performing autopsies.
Yes.
Yes, given the moment, that's super important, Tifa.
Yes, but that's where I'm going. I find autopsies really fascinating.
Is it bad I'm not surprised anymore? Psycho? No, it's not. But remember, there will be a point where you will become surprised again.
Now, what might surprise you is that even that performing autopsies on alive people.
It cannot be an autopsy if it's a live person.
Dissecting a live person then, which is why I use dissecting in the first place.
You mean murder?
Goes even, well, you can keep him alive, depends on...
You mean murder?
Goes even beyond me.
I think we plateaued a while. Fair.
Like, that's something that even, the thought of that even gives me the yuck.
Okay, so we have established once again that Tifa finds all of this very interesting, but morally she does draw the line at murder. Good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, we're dissecting a life? No, murder. The word you're looking for is killing somebody. You're murdering someone. There is no such thing as performing an autopsy on a live person as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, she needs to supply cannibalism somehow, right? Yeah, just get off a slice every now and then. The difference is having a medical degree. Yes,
yeah.
and no, psycho, slightly different wording. The difference is keeping your medical degree. Because if they see you doing it to a living person, that's fucked up and you should lose your license. And that's not an autopsy, it's murder.
Yeah, I guess there's some difference there, yeah.
Forensic scientist Tifa is the Barbie we didn't know we don't need.
I have some life regrets. I wish I would have pushed more towards the field.
Tifa, the world is a good place without you working in that field.
Excuse me?
You've done many great things. You didn't need to do all of that.
I am absolutely amazing in healthcare.
That's why you don't work in medicine. That's how great you are.
I'm considering swapping.
I've seen many brains. I've operated on them. I've lost some patients too. But I never thought anything of it because I knew I did the right thing. Tifa's inner monologue. Even when my hard work was denied afterwards. If it pained me to think that when I just needed to advance the field of medicine to ensure that deaths weren't wasted. That's the true form of those advancing the field of medicine. Sorry, advancementing. Yet, why was my heart tormented so much just by changing the name from treatment to dissection? Because it makes all the difference! Does it mean I'm not man enough to emulate those great men of the past who opened the doors to new medicine? That I don't have the power to develop new advances myself? Oh my god, toxic... That's not toxic masculinity, that's just toxic.
Just man up.
No, fuck you.
Just stamp him in the head. Hey, what's the matter, director? Are you feeling okay?
Sorry, I'm feeling unmanly, as in the current perception of manliness. Takana's pretending to be concerned about me, but she knows. She knows I'm still hesitating. And she's telling me that I should be ashamed as a researcher for feeling that way. I shook my head to clear of its sleepiness. Remember the resolve that brought me here to this day. I already have blood on my hands. But if I stop now, their lives will be wasted. Those who shed their blood can only rest in peace once they've become the cornerstones of great research. I shook my head once more and reminded myself that I'm a researcher. No, I was just thinking. Takano-san, please make some arrangement with Tokyo and let me know when it's done. For science!
Okay, understood. This is really exciting.
The least I can do is my best, so his life won't be wasted. If he bleeds, I can't waste even a drop of his blood. After scolding my staff for their indiscretion of discussing the dissection with such excitement, I returned to my office. After scolding my staff for their indiscretion of discussing the dissection with such excitement, I returned to my office.
Also,
to masturbate in excitement.
I wonder here, did he scold Takano? Because I didn't see any scolding.
No, the invisible staff.
Was the rest of the staff just really exciting as well in the background? Like, we're gonna dissect someone.
Yeah. But remember, it's not a bad thing. It's not murder because it's science.
For science, we shall.
How about for science, we do what we were fated to do a bit earlier when Benjima showed up and take a break.
BRB.
BRB.
We are back for science.
Indeed. Not just for science, but 5 science.
All of the science.
Okay.
Okay.
An L5 stage, patience dissection is required. The queen carrier must be in the participate. No.
What I wonder though, was what we just witnessed
before what we've seen last time,
the L5 stage patience dissection, or do you think we are still going to go into details of the actual dissection?
I don't know. I hope not.
Opportunities, no. Death of the aunt has not happened. Queen carrier is not yet willing. We don't have the results. We don't have kidnapping instructions.
Are we sure about that though? Because there was also a conversation between Irie, Tomitake and Takano way back in one of the fragments that something must be done about the dam. I don't know if that is considered instructions.
No, it's specifically instructions for the operation of the Grand Minister's grandson. That is too specific for it to just be a mention, I would say. Execution order, no.
What's the one you just skipped?
Satoshi's sister refused a visit at the clinic, which hasn't happened.
Have that?
No. When did Satoko refuse Satoshi? We have her in the hospital. We have Irie and Takano not allowing visitors because her condition was getting worse. But we didn't have that Satoko specifically said Satoshi couldn't go.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
2 different things. Prior consent for the collection of spinal fluid. That's like...
Yeah. It is.
In the spine.
Yeah.
With this huge needle.
Mm-hmm.
Have we heard anything about
No.
C117 yet? No. We don't have fevers. We don't have a bottle of wine for a toast. We had the shopping trip.
Yeah.
But we don't have the priest.
Correct.
Have we had a priest contacting?
No, we haven't met Mr. Furude yet. Not once. Mentioned once, but...
Oh, true. There's only one priest. Satoshi's part-time
job. Any of
job.
that.
We also don't have forgiveness of Reina Ryugu's sins. That was definitely not.
You did first sacrifice? Yes.
Yeah.
Ryugu family has not moved.
No move. Mysterious death of the Furude. We do not have that.
Nope.
T-set? No.
I think... Oh, wait. I think this one is on me. We do have rock candy, and I think this is one of these. Revenge of Takano is required. No. A raw sea urchin. No. The game board must be set up. Fragment. There was one
Look for
where
second.
it said rock candy. Or was that just the strawberry milk candy that we've done last time?
That was in combination with something else that we have done already.
The third, the fourth.
Oh wait, we skipped the first one. What was that?
The dose experiment, we don't have that. Doop, 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 doop.
Look for the second sacrifice.
There is no such thing.
Oh, here, there's the rock candy. I just saw it. On the next page, I believe. Wait, that one? Oh, there was the rock candy you mentioned. One. Yeah, but that's the rock candy one you mentioned.
Okay.
You were looking for...
I was right, but we already knew this. There is no second sacrifice.
Okay, then maybe you're right, and the kidnapping is actually the mention. Even though that was just like a one-liner.
Oh yeah, no, we have the first and the second sacrifice actually.
Oh yeah, the second sacrifice we've done. The third one is now open.
The third one has always been open.
But we haven't
done any of that.
Done those two things.
The death of the aunt is required, we don't have that. I think we need to do the thing that we just looked at. Research is going well. The Queen Carrier must be willing to participate. No.
We don't have Rika going into the clinic yet.
I think it's this one, requesting assistance from a queen. Let's find out. Worst case, we get told it doesn't work. Always believe Jack. Never believe Tifa.
But the kidnapping was a one-liner and there weren't even instructions.
Tifa, it's implications implying implications.
Now that is so specific that instructions about the operation of the kidnapper's son is required, and all they said is like, oh, they even made a plan to kidnap some minister's son, didn't they? And then they go like, oh yeah, that's how far they were willing to go, and that was all that was said about it.
Quick question. Did you also just hear, me, I cannot figure out Matsuribayashi, I'm Tifa.
I disagree with the name of this description.
That's all I heard.
But okay.
But for a longer time somehow.
From this point on, we can probably continue again.
Yes, we can, as a matter of fact, because it opened the scene. So, yes, Rika. Exactly, mommy. That's how I feel. That gif, that's what I heard.
Can I cry? Yes.
Yeah, can I rub some dirt in your eye?
That very night, the head of the Furude family, the priest, gathered his wife and Rika together for a family meeting. In Hinamizawa, it was tradition for the three families to gather and discuss the village's issues. So it was hardly unusual for big families like the Sonozaki family and the Kimiyoshi family to have meetings beforehand to sort out opinions among themselves.
We do the same thing at work sometimes.
You have a meeting to discuss what to do in the meeting.
Yeah, alignment meetings, I think, is what they're officially called. That makes sense, because if you go somewhere with a group of people or representing something, you do want to show that you are all of the same opinion. That you come there to represent the same thing and not just go scatter.
However, the Furude family had lost its branch families, so there were only 3 of them left. So until that day, they had never had a family meeting at all. What is it? You're being so formal. Is it about the dam construction? The dam was the most important issue in the village at the moment. The wife naturally assumed the priest wanted to talk about the dam. For him to gather all of them together like that, it must be a huge decision he had to make. Perhaps he was going to talk about joining the pro-evacuation camp. Who do you think is the narrator?
Rika. He's supposed to be a chill, down-to-earth guy, right?
Rika mentioned her own name, so it's not Rika.
No, it's not about the dam. But it's about something extremely important which concerns this village and perhaps all the ancestors of the villagers too.
Mushi!
What?
Awaken! Wait, what's
Mushu.
Mushu. Not
You
Mushi.
just said the German euphemism for vagina.
That's what I have in mind. I was gonna say Mushu. Awaken
Tifa.
the ancestors.
Mushi means bug or insect, yes, and if you add a C between the S and the H, that's a German word for the vagina. I was trying to come up with a fancier way of phrasing it, but no.
Or if you're me, I call birds mushies. And people always look at me funny when they
Because of the Dutch word mus, which is sparrow, then cutified euphemism, monsieur, and that's how she got there.
In German it turned into mushy.
Yeah, and when I told her you shouldn't say that out loud in crowds of people because they'll look at you weird, and that's exactly what happened. How did we get here?
I wanted to say mushu.
15 years ago, I met Tifa. And the rest is history.
Freudian slip.
Freudian slip?
Freudian. No, it's fruity and slip.
Tifa, it's only a fruity and slip if there's a banana peel involved.
You put a T in there. I didn't put a T in there.
Kinda you did.
No, I didn't. The Furude family had served in the priesthood of Oyashiro-sama, the guardian deity of the village for generations. So for him, the head of the family, to start out that way, it must be something extremely important. Yet, he said it wasn't about the dam, so what could he want to talk about?
I married into this family, so I want you and Rika, who carry the true blood of a Furude family, to listen very carefully. You two aren't normal human beings.
I have something very serious to discuss.
How do you do that line? You two aren't normal human beings.
Thanks, Dad. I'm the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama, right? Rika, you shouldn't say such things. Dear, let's talk about things like that without her. She's heard enough nonsense from the elderly people at the village hall already.
What you just said about her being the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama, that appears to be true.
What?
It's a rather long story. Please, just sit tight and listen to me.
It seems very random all of a sudden.
How do you tell your significant other? Oh, by the way, you're not a normal human being. Are you done with that now so that you can read your line?
Oh, that's
While
right. I
Tifa
thought
is
you were
scratching-
doing the line.
While Tifa is scratching, Mushu or Mushi pork is named after a certain flower because it looks like eggs that they use in it. Didn't know that.
Oh, the great lyric, "This guy's got him scared to death," from the famous Disney song "Make a Man Out of You," sung by Vagina.
Yes, and that's how you know it's lyrical genius, because "Make a Man Out of You" sung by Vagina. Come on, it's right there.
The wife had a dumbfounded expression on her face, not knowing what he was going to say. But Rika was completely relaxed, wearing her usual carefree expression.
I mean, she already knows. So.
The priest started to talk after his wife calmed down.
After she was done being hysterical. I need some of my calmness tea. 1 sec.
Do you need shock therapy, wife?
Is that an emotion I see there, woman?
Did
Time
you
to
know,
look
by the
bottom
way,
it.
that you're in these times, how they solved hysteria in women?
I do know, but I want you to say it, because if I do it, people will give me funny looks.
Oh, now I kind of want to know your answer beforehand.
By making them orgasm.
Yes, actually, that is true.
I picked the most sterile, clean way to say it. Yeah.
They would be brought to the doctor, and the doctor makes her orgasm, which wasn't known to be an orgasm at that point, apparently, from what I...
For thousands of years, women have existed, and men put themselves on such pedestals that they figured a woman experiencing a climax once in her life. This is a medical event.
Yeah, but
this-
most
this
men
be normal.
can't make a woman come. So-
Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. I just now realized this background song is kind of Mario coded. Yes, it
Mario
is.
coded.
Yeah. Always has been.
Oh, I see what you mean. Very in a tunnel.
Yeah. It kind of has a da 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 da.
Same sort of vibe.
Da. Not the same da 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 da, but it has the same kind of energy. I always seem to come in at the right subject of discussion.
I wanted to make that joke.
Welcome in, Ruben. How are you doing? Now, I was trying to drink my chill tea to voice Rika's dad.
I'm 13, by the way.
Only humor-wise.
So yeah, I think that's an interesting fact, that hysteria was solved by making women come.
To this day, I think people try that sometimes. If it works. Works on men too, by the way. It's not a woman thing.
Every ailment.
You seem stressed.
You know what solves that?
You seem to experience anxiety. Have you ejaculated yet? Imagine if a conversation went like this. Actually, maybe don't. Up to you. But anyway, Rika's dead. I need to also like lean back for this. Skinner, congrats on being first. And second. And third, spiting yourself, which is what...
First to come in stream. Okay, now I'm done. Hi, Skinner.
No, Tifa, you...
1 to 4?
Yeah.
Oh.
Too long.
I don't have limits. I don't have limitations.
Rika's dad is trying to tell his wife and his daughter that they are gods. Now, please.
Okay. Tell me why I'm
Great,
God.
now you made Skinner sweat.
Tell me why I'm God.
There is a disease in this village that has been here for many years. It's a special disease which only exists here in this area. Everyone who lives in this village has the disease. Not only the people who live here now, but all the people who ever lived here had the disease.
So this is some secret priest knowledge that is handed down the generations, but he married into it.
Which is amazing that he knows this stuff, but the actual Ferodes don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Tell me why. Is this where you were supposed to come in?
No.
Come in? No? Okay. I'm done.
Yes, Rika's mom?
What? But we're all perfectly healthy. I've never heard of a disease exclusive to this village. I'm telling you, the game is forcing our hand.
I cannot. This is what, the early 1980s? So, wife. Because this is your only value as a human being, that you're married to me, a man. So, wife. This is not my opinion and the character. So, wife. You're not a normal human being, you're sick. We all are. What do you mean we're sick? Calm down. Dude!
Yeah, but obviously there was a little bit of hysterical in here. I have a feeling if we actually listen to the voice, it's like, what? I'm not sick?
Of course there would be. We're gonna be here for a while. Yeah, I think so too.
Tifa, this is the third time this minute you were done.
Yeah, please, do us all a favor, shut the fuck up and only read your lines. Let's get this over with. We all want to know what we're about to say.
Jack is also done.
Calm down. As long as we are here in the village, the disease won't cause any problems. Once you move away from this village, that's when it starts to act out. Do you understand?
How can you expect me to understand such a thing? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Too much, there was not a single exclamation mark.
Oh, fair enough. Calm down, Jack.
How about we read the lines as they're written, and not your Quentin Tarantino-esque fanfic?
That's oddly specific.
Mm-hmm.
But also, Rika knew already. Oh, wait, it's
obvious
Rika knows.
Of course, she's talking to Hanyu.
She's the one person. It's the same as the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Rika said it so calmly while her mother became frustrated.
Not enough feet fetish to be Quentin Tarantino-esque. Not yet, and let's hope it stays like it.
If you want to know, I scrubbed my toes in the shower this morning as requested on Sunday. Is that enough feet info? Because Mame said my feet were stinky.
Giving you space.
I'm already done.
Okay. That's right. They say that when you leave this village, you're cursed. It's just like that. In other words, the curse of Oyashiro-sama, which our ancestors have feared for generations, is actually a disease that only exists in this village.
How could that be possible? We've left the village before. Other villagers too. Some have gone on business trips. Some even travel to foreign countries.
True. But that's probably because the disease has weakened over a long time. So it was going to disappear eventually. But the business with the dam disrupted that process. Everyone knew that during the dam war the entire village was aflame with agitation. Such excitement and emotional instability makes the disease stronger.
I still don't know what you're trying to say. What we thought was a curse all this time was actually caused by the disease?
Thank you, Tifa. That was very useful information.
You're welcome.
I also thought it was a little bit TMI, but...
I aim to inform.
Since when?
We are an educational stream. We've established that several times.
Have you listened to yourself, specifically in the last 45 minutes?
A bit less educational, but we did learn something.
That's right. All the rules Oyashiro-sama came up with were to protect the villagers from the disease.
No way! Then Oyashiro-sama is actually a disease, not a god?
Some people would argue that's the same thing.
How could that be? How can I explain that to the Furude family ancestors? Shouldn't we
Calm down. The faith in Oyashiro-sama won't change. The fact that Oyashiro-sama is watching over Hinamizawa will remain the same. It just means the disease-producing Oyashiro-sama's curse was in this village since long ago. That's all. Put your fedora away, Jack. I was channeling my inner JRPG. Sorry.
I would still like to know how he came to this information.
We will get there in about 30 minutes, when you are done derailing or attempting to derail the stream. Fruiters never get names, they're just Mr. and Mrs. Kinda weird, isn't it? Then again, neither do the Hojos.
I'm actually quite happy with that, because then I need to remember names. Now it's
Also,
just Rika's mom, dad, easy.
Same with the Maebaras. It's just pawn guy and wife.
Yeah, easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I won't accept that. How can I explain that to our ancestors? Not my child, not my kid, but the ancestors.
I'm sorry, is this a general Japanese culture thing that I don't understand? How do I explain this to the ancestors?
She's a shrine maiden, remember?
Have you tried words?
This is a desecration of the Furude family's age-old traditions. No, this is a desecration of Oyashiro-sama. Who taught you such a thing? This isn't acceptable. In the first place, can you prove such a disease actually exists?
I can.
What kind of proof? Who gave it to you?
The people from the Ministry of Health and the National Institute of Infectious Disease Prevention.
Oh.
They've already found the pathogen and they are searching for a cure right now. We saw the documents and the samples last week. The people at the Ministry of Health call it Hinamizawa syndrome.
So they called him in?
Yeah.
And what? But why? Didn't they want to keep this a secret?
Not from him.
Why involve the priest? Or what would be a reason to involve the priest?
I have a weird feeling, Tifa, that there'll be a fragment dealing with it.
Yeah, I think so, but usually you like to speculate, and I was wondering what your thoughts were on why to involve him.
Fair question. Maybe one of them had this thing called... what's it? That's on the tip of my tongue. Morals?
Money?
Morals?
I thought you did charades.
And I was doing Mr. Krabs. Money would have made more sense, but had morals and figured, hey, if they are kind of in charge of this whole thing, maybe we should involve them in some way because we might need their help, especially if it is true that one of them is the queen carrier.
But this
because she could fuck all of us up for us.
This would have gone past Takano and Irie too. I see no benefit in involving the priest.
Or maybe it was one of the Tokyo people that went like, Japan's strong! And so they called the Furude dude, because you are a member of a proud Japanese family, are you not? Are you actually aware that your wife and daughter might be goddesses? You could help bring Japan back to its pre-war glory. And try to get him like this, to support him.
I guess. I was first thinking they would ask for support because they also want to experiment on Rika and stuff, but they don't know anything about the Queen Carrier at this point, so that doesn't make sense. How would you randomly suspect that?
I don't think anything about this is random. I think this is a matter of going through the deceased Dr. Hifumi Takano's notes. And if there is a parasite, there is a chance it comes from somewhere. It has to spread somehow.
How many parasites have a Queen Carrier?
I don't know. I don't know anything about parasites.
No way!
As long as you need a normal life, who doesn't? As long as you lead a normal life, the syndrome is harmless. But once you go far from Hinamizawa, or if you become emotionally unstable, it's easy for the disease to manifest itself.
So calm yourself, woman. You're being unstable right now.
When the disease acts out, you can be possessed by your own delusions, and in the worst case scenario, you can go mad. I've discovered this disease during the war. A distinguished scholar noticed that only the soldiers from Hinamizawa came down with an abnormal disease, and he has been researching it all these years. So it would make sense that it was one of the Tokyo people, because who else has ever heard of Hifumi Takano and would call him a distinguished scholar?
Yeah, I believe it definitely is from them, but the reason is why. If you want to keep this a secret, and you pass it on, there has to be a reason on why you would involve these people.
Trying to get support from a priest family of a religious village does sound like a decent idea. On paper. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, that is true, but I guess it depends on what you would want from him.
Support.
But in what sense? Do you want to keep the belief alive of Oyashiro? Well, I'm sure we'll find out, but still. I don't see a good reason yet on involving him.
What I'm going through right now must be what Tifa feels like when I'm sitting over here theory crafting for what feels like 45 minutes. Meanwhile, she's like, yeah, go off, dude. To fight against the damn project for one? Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't need to tell them about the disease for that.
Yes, you do, because you are one of the members of the three families and you don't want... Wait, no. I was gonna say you don't want them to leave, but that doesn't... No, that does make sense. Sorry,
you don't want them to leave, but unless he was already...
You want them riled up to fight against the dam project, because if a place is flooded, the area clinic, the research center is gone. So you want to tell the guy who is in charge of one of the major three families, hey, you don't just have, emotional attachment to the place because your families have lived here for a while. You also very much don't want anybody to leave, because the moment they remove themselves from this area in the world, they might go nuts and kill others in themselves. And that includes your wife and daughter, whom we presume you love. So please help us fight against the dam project.
But he was never
Thank you, Psycho.
in favor of it already.
He was on the fence.
And then
seemingly.
Why wouldn't you go to the Sonozakis who had more power in that part?
Because there's three families.
Yeah, but we only know of... Actually, we only just learned now that they were told. We don't know if the other families know. So
you want a split between everybody who's in the pocket of the Sonozakis and the religiously zealous people who will follow Rika wherever she goes. If Rika's dad goes, you know what, this is all sensible, I understand, let's flood the place, and they leave, so will the old people. Maybe not all of them, but some would, because if my Rika-chama goes, I will go too. If Rika-chama can do it, I can do it too. I will support Rika-chama. Ganbatte! If a dam project goes through, that'll end the research. The Sonozakis can't steal the fruited child. Plus that. You cannot touch Rika. There's too much involved. It can go wrong too easily.
Too much crap? You use this sign for too many things now.
Sonozakis have more power, but don't seem reasonable to change their mind. The Furude family, who seem on the fence, have a better chance, I guess. Exactly.
Suppose, yeah.
Plus, it's gonna look great to drum up support against the dam construction work if the fence-sitting Rika's family goes, actually, we thought about it again and we are now against the dam. That will shut up people who were thinking about it. They explained some details of his research, but I'm sorry, they're too complicated for me to explain. If you don't believe what I'm saying, why don't you go listen to them yourself? At first I was indignant too, wondering how they dared to blaspheme oyashiro-sama and spout such nonsense. The Irie clinic was built to study the syndrome. It appears to be just a clinic on the outside, but it's actually a secret research center for studying the syndrome.
Secret research? That's ridiculous. If it's actually backed by the Ministry of Health, why aren't they doing it out in the open?
Well, I guess they can't. For example, think about leprosy victims who were misunderstood and exiled. They are still misunderstood and discriminated against, even today in fact. If a whole country finds out about this and thinks that everyone in Hinamizawa who has contracted this weird disease can go mad at any moment, it'll turn into chaos.
I need to console my fact book Dark Lord. Leprosy Project? What is that?
What do you mean?
Leprosy victims? What did they say? Leprosy
You
victims.
don't know about lepers?
No.
It
Sounds like a rodent.
It's a disease where the cliche is that your body parts will fall off.
That actually happens, or?
How? Mami. Tifa is
I don't
unaware of a lot of things that other people aren't.
What do you mean how? Why am I supposed to know what a leprosy is?
Leprosy, also known as Hansen's disease, is a long-term infection caused by bacteria Mycobacterium leprae. Infection can lead to damage of the nerves, respiratory tract, skin and eyes. The nerve damage may result in a lack of ability to feel pain, which can lead to the loss of parts of a person's extremities from repeated injuries or infection through unnoticed wounds.
Oh, okay, it's just a lack of pain, basically.
Or the wounds, the infection. Yes, it can get bad enough that your finger comes off. Not like that, it doesn't just randomly fall off. I would assume, I'm not a doctor, Google leprosy at your own peril, but I think you can tell that you are infected by leprosy way before suddenly like a lizard goes, oh, my tail is gone.
Lack of pain always sounded so cool until you learn how dangerous it actually is, especially for kids who learn certain ways not to do something because of the pain they feel.
Funnily enough, for easiest example there, being able to feel pain is also why you know that you need to go pee. People that don't feel pain, I don't know if all of them, but some at least, have to set themselves alarms to go urinate.
Really? I didn't know that.
Because they don't feel when their bladder is full. Because that can, as far as I'm aware, that is a pain sensation.
Oh, I did not know that.
So if you don't feel that, you walk around, suddenly you die because your bladder burst inside of you. Because you didn't go pee for a while.
Wouldn't you at some point just pee your pants?
No, because you don't feel that.
Yeah, but you can't hold indefinitely.
Yes, you can. Do you, Tifa, people have their bladders erupt from not going to pee. That's a thing, unfortunately.
Fair enough, I guess.
Just go pee, people.
Every hour.
Where am I? Oh, yeah. The Ministry of Health has taken that into consideration and is working on developing a cure while keeping the disease a secret. Don't get me wrong though, they aren't trying to put us on display or anything. They're trying to eliminate this disease and free this village from it. It was a different story long ago when we supported ourselves, but nowadays it's impossible not to leave the village. If a simple act of leaving the village can trigger the disease, you realize how dangerous it is for the villagers, right? I'm repeating myself now, but in the recent dam protests, the whole village entered a strong, excited state, which is very bad for the Hinamizawa syndrome.
If some villagers go crazy and do something horrible, it will be all over the media.
That's right. If that happens, it'll be too late.
But how can I believe this? Are you sure we're dealing with people from the government? Are you sure you aren't being tricked?
I don't blame you for not being able to believe it. They said we can come take a look at their facility anytime. I've seen it before and I know that no mere fraud could have set up something like that. Even the big hospitals in Gogura don't have such large-scale equipment. If you can't believe what I just told you, you should go to the research center yourself and ask questions. They can explain it better than I can. They said if their explanation isn't good enough, they can explain it to you at the National Research Institute in Tokyo, or even at the Ministry of Health's main office.
Why can't we go to the clinic?
He literally just said just go to the clinic and have a look yourself.
He said if you need more explanation, you can go to the Research Institute in Tokyo or the
They
ministry.
said we can come and take a look at their facility anytime.
Yeah, take a look. And then they say if we need an explanation, you go all the way to Tokyo.
If their explanation isn't good enough.
I see. Also, the proof is here. Look at this letter I got, which is signed by African prince.
Nigerian prince.
No, sorry,
I
Nigerian.
mean, potato, but... Yeah, and he only asked that I send him all of my personal details and 5,000 Japan bucks. Yeah, what could go wrong?
Whether I believe it or not, how are we related to that?
Oh yeah, remember how he told us we're not normal people? It is said that the Furude family inherited the blood of Oyashiro-sama. And it is also said that if a girl was born for 8 continuous generations, that 8th generation girl would be the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama.
Why did I have 7 in my head?
Wasn't it 7 in a previous chapter?
Oh, so it isn't just me.
Wasn't it 7 earlier? Somebody fact check us on this. Ranger, thank you for resub.
Love.
59 months. 10
You
more
didn't
and it
finish
can be nice. Indeed. Thank you very much. 1 more and it's 5 years. That's crazy.
But you didn't finish the love.
I did.
No, you didn't?
Love.
Love.
There you go.
Well.
Again. Nigeria has been a diplomatic republic since the late 1960s. Good.
Yeah, but there's still a prince somewhere. Me. That's right. I'm the 7th. Enrica's the 8th generation. But what does that have to do with the disease?
This Hinamizawa syndrome is caused by a type of parasite. Although they're very tiny, you can't even see them with a naked eye. They say there's a sort of leader among the parasites. His name is Venom.
Are you saying that's the Furude family?
It appears that the leader of these parasites is passed down through the generations only by people with a direct bloodline to the Furude family. In other words, in the previous generation, it was you. And now, it's Rika. Damn, Rika's the king in black? I don't know what that means, but probably yes.
Me.
Just finished both your characters and I've never been more proud. Ranger, I look forward to seeing it tomorrow.
I look forward to kicking Jack's butt.
That's it.
That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
I agree, Rika's mom. It took me 1.5 years to get to this point as well.
Why would it be something as disgusting as parasites in the first place?
Calm down. I'm not good at explaining things. Please have the experts explain it to you. According to them, studying this parasite leader is necessary in order to research the disease.
No! I won't have anything to do with such suspicious research, and Rika won't either.
I'm telling you to calm down. They think that Hinamizawa syndrome acts out when separated from the parasite leader, not the village itself. When you were little, do you remember villagers telling you that you had psychic powers? You were able to cure elderly people who got migraines after taking a long trip. That's the proof that you were carrying the parasite leader. The Furude bloodline has the power to cure people with the disease. To discover a cure, it's extremely important that we participate in their research. Null, god of symbiotes. I don't care for Null. I think it's a stupid addition to the Marvel canon, and that's it.
I prefer to pronounce it as Knul.
Knul, which is Dutch for a little boy.
If they study me, will the villagers be saved?
That's what they say.
And all the villagers are infected? Me? Everyone else? Satoko too?
Yes. Not only the people who live in the village, but their relatives in Okinomiya too. We're talking thousands of people. That's why the Ministry of Health spends so much money to build a specialized research center.
I object! How can you let Rika be a sacrifice for something that's suspicious? I don't mind. If Satoko can be saved, I don't mind being a sacrifice. I really don't.
She's so sweet.
You be quiet, Rika. I absolutely refuse. I'll go talk to them and refuse them directly. I won't let them kill Rika in some crazy experiment. Also, I do like how instead of going directly to the actual Furude, they go to the man in the family.
I think that's a very 1980s Japan thing, yeah. Yeah. Can I speak to the man of the household, please?
Obviously, we can't discuss this with a hysterical woman.
To be outside of a whole patriarchy sexism thing, which is very prevalent, and the writing does make sense, unfortunately. It does also make sense on a non-sexist note, because do you really want to drive the person who might go nuts up the wall when you tell them, hey, you have a parasite, like a queen parasite kind of thing, and we need you to come in for testing, please. I know this is a lot, but can you just show up maybe tomorrow at 8? Is that good for you?
But the same thing can be said when you go to the husband and you tell him we need to experiment on your wife.
The husband is specifically known to be chill and laid back.
Yeah, true. He's manly.
That's also why I'm reading his lines slower, because I don't know how else to convey that without falling into cliches.
I won't let them kill Rika in some crazy experiment. Besides, Rika is the one and only heir of the Furude family. What if something happens to her? The family will die right here. Don't you see that? You need to think more about our family. That's why the villagers call you an opportunist. After all, don't you think it's odd? The Ministry of Construction is trying to submerge the village, and the Ministry of Health is trying to cure a disease? What in the world is going on?
Rika's mom has a point.
Dude, this is every big organization. Like at work, Team A also doesn't know what Team B does, and then we kind of accidentally work against one another because we have been given different goals. It's basically that.
That's a very agile, isn't it?
It's basically that.
The Ministry of Health has warned that this disease could be triggered by a change in environment. So they're actually trying to have a Ministry of Construction stop the damn construction plan. You really should go to the research center. Why would they build such a huge facility in a location that could be submerged? Because they are built by wannabe Nazis. And they don't think rationally, Mr. Furude. Then again, how could he know that? How could he know about the existence of a secret society called Tokyo, wanting to do all of these things?
What? Oh. Rika let out a big yawn. It was long past bedtime for a little girl like her. I'm going to bed now.
That feels so disrespectful.
Dad, please let them know I'm willing to participate, okay?
The mother is there like, oh my god, the world is ending. And Rika's like, I grow tired of this conversation. I shall be off.
Rika!
There you go.
You can't make such a decision without consulting me. Rika! Wait, Rika!
I'm shocked there was surprisingly no slapping of Rika done by Rika's mom, which we were kind of led to believe has happened a lot at some point at least, because remember versus one tip, where every time Rika didn't smile the right way or reacted the right way, her mom would slap her?
I thought her mother was jealous because the attention shifted to Rika after her birth
Also
instead
implied,
of her.
Yeah. Shut up, Mom, I'm older than you. That's true, in a way, yeah. You can't decide to go to bed without consulting me. Imagine my child wants to go to bed on time by herself. Crazy. You can't, you have to stay up now.
Depending on the age, that makes sense. Because if they sleep too early, they're gonna get up at
Yeah,
shitty
then they
times.
wake up cranky.
So you need to force them to stay awake.
His fault for not keeping up with QAnon.
Ooh.
Thank God he did.
Okay, now we have, what was it? That Queen Carrier must be willing to participate.
Cool. At a quarry in Yaguchi.
Can you what?
Nothing. This has to be Takano.
When researching Hinamizawa syndrome, there's something very important that needs to be discussed first. If something happens to the Queen Carrier, the village will collapse. In his article, my grandfather called it the most dangerous situation.
Told you it's Takano. I could tell from the book.
According to my grandfather, if the Queen Carrier dies, all the infected persons will go terminal within 48 hours.
Has that not been a plot in a Resident Evil game? It seems awfully familiar.
Also, does that mean if Rika would not reproduce and die of old age without children, the entire village would go down with her?
Yeah. Apparently.
This may sound unbelievable at first, but research on the collapse of past local religions and group suicides around the world should indicate that there's some truth to it.
Should indicate.
Well, they have no proof.
Maybe. We don't know.
You can't really prove this without killing Rika, which I think is the final phase of the research. Killing Rika and see what happens to the village. Among all the mysterious incidents around the world, there are some that were caused by parasites controlling entire communities, very similar to Hinamizawa syndrome. Grandfather picked a few cases that are very similar to the syndrome and investigated them. As a result, he confirmed multiple cases of entire communities losing their minds after the death of a religious leader or founder, and finally annihilating themselves. He stated that on average it happened within 48 hours. It's clear that infected people are affected by the Queen Carrier, and the condition of the Queen Carrier is, in fact, affecting the entire village. Our statistics already prove that on weeks Rika felt sick and visited the clinic, we saw an exceptionally high number of visitors. Rika being sick with a simple cold had a massive impact. If something particularly bad happened to her, we'd be facing a serious situation within 48 hours.
Couldn't it also just be like a... I don't think that's the right term, but mass hysteria? Like people see that their beloved Rika-chama is sick, so they go, oh, something must be in the air. My throat is scratchy. I should go to the hospital too. I might be sick.
That's kind of what this implies here.
No, Tifa, this implies that if a Queen Carrier is not doing well, so do the underlings.
Yeah, the
like a hive mind link kind of thing.
Oh, and you just say if they see it.
Yes, I think it's a psychological thing, like, hey, no, the person I care for is sick. Oh, actually, I feel something coming on too.
Don't think so. That's why the Irie Institute has to protect Rika Furude, the Queen Carrier. It's the most important mission of the Hinamizawa Syndrome Research Project. She's already agreed to help us in our research, but we have to be very careful not to put her in any danger. Also, we have to protect her from anyone who would try to harm her.
Including me.
Her life is equal to the lives of 2,000 villagers. But what if something happens to her by accident?
Accidentally, on purpose.
The Irie Institute must prepare for that situation. That's why I worked on the draft of an emergency manual when the Irie Institute was first established.
Those are the manuals we saw at the end of chapter 7, or at least part of that was.
It's a precaution in case the Queen Carrier dies, or if infected people show acute symptoms due to the death of the Queen Carrier.
That's why they wiped out the entire village with mostly gas. To preempt them from going crazy.
Yeah. That's the whole bit we had with the governor, remember? where we gave him the choice, either you kill them or they're gonna go ape shit and kill others.
They go ape-wise. They will spin the clock like monkeys.
This is an emergency procedure which must be followed within 48 hours of the mass occurrence of the acute symptoms. The final measure is to prevent the damage from spreading to nearby areas. The plan uses gas, making it look like a natural disaster. My client, the Alphabet Project, took the responsibility of working out the details of the plan. They are used to dealing with things like nuclear and biological weapons, so they ended up being such a big help. There's no way I could have come up with a plan on my own to execute 2,000 villagers.
I would have liked to.
Through a dummy company, the ground SDF has secured a closed quarry in the Higurashi region upstream of Hinamizawa.
Oh, here we go.
It's to be the secret storage base for the equipment we'd use in that operation. Equipment that sprays deadly gas that kills people as if they were falling asleep is stored here. In that case of an emergency, a special unit of the ground SDF is to use this equipment to destroy the village. However, preparing for the execution of the villagers itself is politically dangerous. So if I'm going to insist on them getting the equipment ready, I have to make them understand how dangerous Hinamizawa syndrome is and also how urgent the need to have a contingency plan.
Outside of a whole, Takano is an insane person willing to do whatever it takes to attain godhood for her grandfather and herself.
She's smart.
I don't like it, but I understand this. We've identified an endemic outbreak of a disease. It's very localized. It's contained for now. But if there is a risk of contamination spreading or things getting bad, we will pull the trigger and keep damage to a minimum. That's not a great decision to make, but I think that, at least neutrally speaking, makes sense. No?
Yeah, it does. I have to prove the need for the plan by showing them enough data. So the files my grandfather kept intact came in quite handy. When the clients read my grandfather's articles about the syndrome, they were surprised to see how catastrophic things could be in the worst case scenario.
Did you also tell them that aliens brought the disease?
I thought it was bunnies.
Same thing. In other words, if something happens to this girl, the Queen Carrier, all 2,000 of the villagers will become deranged. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. There have been several cases similar to Hinamizawa syndrome where group suicides took place. In the case of the syndrome, we can easily expect extreme defensive behavior which results from deep paranoia. The result may affect all 2,000 plus carriers. From there on, we may face abnormal situations involving lawless violence and bizarre religious despondence. We must be ready to face such a situation by having a contingency plan, otherwise we'll draw attention from the rest of the world. We have to remember that we only have 48 hours to respond once it happens.
Are you saying that if it happens, there's nothing anyone can do? Can't you treat everyone within 48 hours? That'll be impossible. We don't even have a cure and the research center isn't capable of taking in all the villagers. How frightening to realize such a disease actually exists. Our world is full of mysteries.
Constant vigilance against worst-case scenarios supports our national defense and is one of the ideas behind the Alphabet Project. Besides, our goal is not to use the plan, but it's vital to be prepared.
Indeed. Precisely as you say. I'd still like to look into strengthening the rules of approval authority behind applying the plan, but I understand the necessity to prepare our response for a worst-case scenario.
Doesn't the Pentagon also have plans for zombie infections and alien invasions?
Yeah, I would assume so. I would assume virtually every country has plans like that. Because part of your job is to be prepared for anything. So you prepare for anything. Let's have the Urban Suppression Research Team run a simulation of a Hinamizawa suppression operation in the region. That was a mouthful. I think we should get it going as soon as possible. It's possible that the Queen Carrier girl may be hit by a car and be killed any moment. Thank you, Major Takano. We have further questions, so you can sit down.
Thanks to a push from one of my backers, things were decided without too much of a problem. It took me almost all day to explain it to them, but it only took a short time to come to a decision. Nobody criticized, ridiculed, or tried to reject my grandfather's articles out of hand. In the files they're all reading today are the very same shameful articles those haughty authorities left their footprints on as they trampled them in my grandfather's heart.
Fuck 'em.
But they aren't ridiculing the articles. They are reading what was once rejected. It's nothing big at a glance, but in this moment, my grandfather's research is being recognized for the first time. And my heart is filled with satisfaction to see people discussing amongst each other while pointing to my grandfather's files and raising them as proof.
One thing I find so bizarre is that important people can just read a few files and then decide to prepare for a mass killing.
Because you trust you have the right people in the position who can give you the information you need to make that decision. Basically.
I think I get what you're saying. Wouldn't you assume that coming to that decision takes longer? Wouldn't you imagine it takes somebody longer than moments to decide the death of hundreds, or in this case thousands of people?
But she even just said it didn't take moments.
We just listened to the conversation.
She just said she spent the entire day explaining
Yes.
and what's happening.
Yes,
Assuming
but it's
that's
still
not just 6
relatively a few files. It isn't like they just spent half a year studying this. They go, okay, so you've prepared the research, you are now the expert on this, please advise us. And then 6 hours later they go, yeah, let's just send supplies there to kill 2,000 people with gas. Yeah, it's fine. That is just a few files. But on the other hand, in a way, isn't your job at that point to make these decisions? Whether you and I would agree with them or not, the person is put there because somebody, hopefully through a democratic process, believed that the outcome they would choose is what the right person should choose.
And I'm also still assuming, considering she said it took an entire day, that we're talking about at least 12 hours of discussing every consequence.
These people don't work 12 hours, at most 4. Tifa,
sorry, I forgot German bureaucrat hours.
Tifa, those are managers.
From 9 to 1.
Tifa, those are managers. Having information only slows down their decision-making process. Nice! We're back to Takano's perspective. Indeed. Still think there's not enough here that explains why she massacres an entire village. Because I don't think this is the reason. This is the explanation, but that's not the reason. There's a difference.
It's part of the whole plan, but it still makes a lot of sense to have it in place.
She presents this aspect of the whole thing as part of a contingency plan. And as a contingency plan, based on the information at face value, I agree that these preparations should be done. I think Takano has completely different reasons to do this, and do it with a smile on her face. That's the part that fucks me up, and that's why I don't believe she's just doing this, because objectively we should contain it. If we cannot contain it, we should destroy it, for the sake of mankind. I don't think it's that. It's some, I will become a god, kind of that thing. Hopefully we'll get there.
I've worked so hard for this day. Grandpa's in heaven, or Grandpa in heaven. Can you see this?
Tifa next to me, can you see me go to the bathroom in a moment to go pee? But first, she wants her grandpa's research to be somehow visible to the outside world. A gas catastrophe is a signifier of that, even if the public never learns the details. Potentially, yes. I still think there is some grand end of a 60-hour JRPG, the Pope has become the devil moment, where Takano eats the brain of the now deceased Rika and believes herself to be the new oyashiro-sama.
But don't forget.
The moment in every horror movie or horror video game where the antagonist injects himself with the serum that they worked on, and then they morph into this creature, and then they get blasted to bits. Something.
But don't forget, we're still missing a little bit, because at some point Tokyo's plans also changed.
Yes.
We're
missing a lot here.
We don't know if Takano's plans also changed there, and she then decided to become Queen Carrier herself, or if her original plan was actually to find a cure, have all of this set up, and become a god in the way that this research will become public and out in the open, which is what her goal was in the beginning.
I have a Batman Joker moment. Because I said Batman, it's about the Joker. From my understanding, the Joker in Batman comics and whatever will do literally anything. Because it's all part of my plan. I have the same feeling about Takano. If Takano were to go, oh, I'm doing this because of a research, and then I will put the specimen, I will keep it alive somehow. Part of Rika's brain, we remove it, and then we prod the parasite and make it visible, and then put it behind glass, and then everybody can study it, and my grandfather will become a god, and I will be too, because I've made this possible. I will become famous. I would understand it. If she decides to eat the intestines of Rika, to imbibe the parasite and then control the people herself, I would understand that too. Literally anything that, as long as her writing stays consistent and good, I'm okay with anything. I could see the story go every possible way, especially if we're stuck in a menu detailing with the infinite possibilities. This is just some of them.
There's that quote, the path to hell is paved with good intentions. Don't know how relevant that is to Takano though, but I don't think there's any good intention.
I don't think she's being that good even now. Yes.
I don't think it was ever paved with good intention on Takano's side.
Tyrant type Takano? Yes, the triple T type. I thought about this at the gym yesterday. I feel bad for Tanashi. I don't feel bad for Takano. Hot mic drop. And now I need to pee. So, BRB.
BRB. We're back.
We are. Thank you for waiting for us. Yes, Takano has good intentions for herself. That's true. Even the most terrible villains think they are the hero of a story. If her writing is good, yes. Usually the villain doesn't consider themselves a villain. As they shouldn't, because otherwise why are they doing it?
I agree, but I'm also not sure if Takano considers herself the hero.
Yes, I agree with that, because her self-interested goals and her rejection of God's authority give her a moral standard that allows her to do whatever she sees fit for the sake of science. Yes, exactly. And I said it before, I'm saying it again. I hate what Takano is doing, but the idea of somebody going, Daifukyu, I don't care who or what stands in my way. I have a goal and I will achieve it. And if God cannot even strike me down with lightning, I will press on. If I don't die in this orphanage, I will press on. I don't care what happens. You've taken my parents away from me. You've taken my dignity. You've taken every single fucking thing in my life. And I persevere and I carry on. And I will do this because I can, and you cannot stop me. I applaud that. That's a crazy amount of willpower in the face of adversity throughout her life.
But it's people like that who achieve these results.
Yes, my problem is when she then goes off the beaten path of using that drive, that willpower for good, and goes, yeah, no.
But it's still people like
Why
that.
Why shouldn't I become a murderer and a killer?
Yeah, but look at her grandfather did not do all of those things. He stuck to the rules, and look what happened to him.
As far as we know.
As far as we know, but look at what happened to him.
As far as we know.
He did not do human experiments.
Far as we know, he was a researcher during World War II. There's a chance he's done horribly fucked up shit, besides just being a soldier in a war.
But his willpower wasn't high enough because
he didn't have a means to execute on his idea. Valid crash out. Now, again, I can understand why Takano is driven to this point. But at some point, she should ask herself, is this the right thing to do?
I agree with you, but it's not how these things work. At that point, you're too far at the fuck you all.
I don't care.
To consider that.
No matter how long you've been doing something, when you realize that you have doubts, when you cannot answer the question anymore, should I be doing this, with an unequivocal yes, I should, you should stop and at least think about it.
Yeah, but that is a question people ask who care about things. There's only one thing Takano cares about, so that question won't come into play.
Don't care. Rika's father being marked as an opportunist, we just had that mentioned in the conversation earlier, and Rika's mother's suspicion is required. I think it's time for the third sacrifice.
No.
Ah.
Why would you pick that one? Suspicion of what?
Suspicion of us all being hokey?
No, it's the top right one.
An L5 stage patient's dissection is required. The Queen Carrier must be willing to participate. Research is going well. Yes! My choice was correct after all. First try,
why did you click on the other one? I would have told you that's not the one.
I told you why. Also, with all of this horribleness in the room,
this is why you give me the most.
The story happening, I would like to draw everybody's attention to the left quarter of the game screen with this absolutely adorable crocodile holding the notes.
He's always been there on the screen.
Yes, but now I'd like to point it out because he's adorable.
Fair enough. He's really cute.
Furuta-san, thank you for waiting. We just finished the last test. She'll be back soon.
I kind of find it a shame that we didn't go more into the dissection.
I hope she is able to help. Of course. Rika-san will help the whole village. I think we'll be able to come up with a treatment soon. We're still looking into the structure, but we're finding out how important Rika-san is to the villagers. People with more serious conditions can't stabilize themselves. But we found out if they get close to the Queen Carrier, they generate some kind of substance in their brain. And the substance has a calming effect, and it seems to have a power to bring their symptoms down. If we can produce the substance, it'll end up making for a powerful treatment.
So they end up being able to produce that and give it to Satoko.
Okay. At this, assuming my arm suddenly hurts. Oh. Is there a muscle there? I went to the gym yesterday. Maybe I've overdone it. No. Hot thought. If this turns out to be correct and Irie is able to create a treatment, a cure potentially, from the substance that is being made in the brains by the people, and it brings down the symptoms, there's absolutely no need to kill the villagers. Assuming they can make enough to keep treating them.
But they can't.
How do you... Wow, I didn't know you knew the entire answers to all of these questions, Tifa. When did I miss that piece of info?
Well, no, they didn't. But the question is, can you actually do that? I somehow doubt it. Plus, that is with the Queen Carrier also being there.
Yeah, you need to have...
If the Queen Carrier is dead, that can be completely different.
You need the substance the brain makes. You don't need the Queen Carrier. If you're able to replicate the substance the brain makes to heal the person, that's the key.
Not something you can risk, I think.
How do they know it exists then?
No, but I mean, it's not something you can risk that only the pills are enough.
I think that's what the red pills are about later. I think it was literally called a red pill, which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, the red pill is required.
I mean, technically we've already found one way to subdue the symptoms in chapter 6. Yeah, have an epic fight on top of a school building. Yeah. Trust your friends, talk about your problems. Yeah. Basically.
You get therapy, all of you get therapy.
Is this the moment where Tifa has to agree that my usual cliche, this wouldn't happen if everybody had equal and unfettered access to mental health care, is actually valid once again?
A line Jack says almost during every movie.
Yeah.
People without friends. That's where the therapist comes into play.
Yes. Yes. And spoilers, not spoilers, this might offend some people. Your friends aren't your therapists.
If you don't have a therapist or someone to talk with, just call a random call center.
No.
That's what happens from my experience.
Jokes aside, seek help. Seek help where you can get it. Talking to a friend is better than talking to nobody, but your friends generally aren't licensed, trained therapists.
Yeah,
there's a difference. And I think it is a lot too much, in my personal opinion, to go, oh, Ruben, I'll just take you because I see your name. Ruben, I consider us friends. Here's my trauma. Help me fix it. If the other person is willing to talk to you about these things, cool. But you can't expect a friend to also be your therapist. There's a reason also, I think, why psychologists, therapists usually aren't friends with their patients. Because it's treatment, it's not friendship. Those two things can be very similar, they can feel very similar, you might confuse them for one another, but they're two very different things. I assume this is applause for me saying this. Man, I try, but good luck getting even online digital therapy. Yes,
yeah, nowadays you also have a waiting list of
it's
months.
Horseshit. The German healthcare system is broken. We have way too little of the things a lot of people need. Unless you live in a major city, you can get fucked finding a therapist. And if you live in a major city, you will also get fucked because there still isn't enough therapists for the amount of people. Unless you pay for it out of pocket, then you will open up your options dramatically. Then it's a matter of finding one that has space for you. And that's gonna be a lot of money that you're gonna be spending on something that I believe should be part of universal healthcare. Because mental health is just as important as physical health. This whole topic pisses me off. Every politician cutting money from healthcare, be it mental or physical, I hope there's a special circle in hell reserved for the likes of you.
It's always the first thing that gets cut.
Finally, I can make lunch. Ranger, if you make a lunch out of a hatchling chick, please don't.
This one is off limits now.
Not enough money put in med schools. Yes, and then not enough money put in the right places to make it available. It's for profit. Healthcare should never be for profit. The health of a person, of a people, shouldn't be down to, I can make a buck off of it. Fuck you. Fuck you from the bottom of my heart. Well, not you, but you know what I'm saying.
Healthcare becoming a private sector is one of the worst things that ever happened on this world.
Think of investors. Fuck you. Investor is just another word for parasite.
Yeah, the stakeholders need to feed their family too.
Fuck you if you make your living being a stakeholder. You bought something, or you got it gifted, or you inherited it, meaning you already had the money, and then you tell other people to slave away harder so that you can get richer. Go fuck yourself. Remember how the other day we talked our political leanings and I called myself a leftist socialist cuck? There you go. There you go. These are my symptoms.
In case you didn't believe it yet.
Higurashi, low-key, Ryukishi talking to the system. Politics is BS. Help people. Politics isn't BS in and of itself. Politicians bullshitting and lining their own pockets is.
The idea of politics isn't, but it is.
Yes, exactly. Theory, good. Practice. Yeah,
But
help
politics comes with power, which means you will always have this issue.
Oh, I can get rich off of this. Go fuck yourself. Everything you're saying sounds like it's going to stop me from becoming the literal Monopoly guy. Yes, you shouldn't be the Monopoly guy. Nobody should be the Monopoly guy. The smartest, best, greatest person curing every disease shouldn't be the literal Monopoly guy. We have enough wealth on this planet. Just fucking spread it. Jack is anti-monocles. I knew it. No, you can wear a monocle if you want. It's fine. I'll applaud it.
Monocles are cheaper too, because you only get half of it.
Exactly. That's how a big monocle gets you. Wanting a functional school system that produces well enough, well-paid doctors isn't being a socialist.
No, it's
woke. I know. I agree with you, but there is unfortunately a large amount of idiots in the world, especially on the internet, because it's a very low barrier, that think that is socialism. If, in their words, that is socialism, then I'm happy to be a socialist, because I believe these things should happen. I believe anybody at any moment, when they need treatment, should be able to get it without waiting an eternity. Hot take! People shouldn't have to fucking die because somebody went, oh, that doesn't make me money.
Stall.
Yeah. Is this really medically? Yes, it is.
This build takes 10 cents to make, but a lot of people need it, so we're gonna make it $2,000.
Yeah. His name, according to Box Incorporated, is Rich Uncle Pennybags. Yes, fuck Rich Uncle Pennybags. Actually, I don't know about Rich Uncle Pennybags. Maybe he's a great person and he gives away all of his money. Cool. How did he get it to begin with? The peasants don't need healthcare. I have my private surgeon. After me, the flood. That's a beautiful, that last part. I mean, yes, unfortunately, agreed that too many people think like this. The last part especially is, I think, only a German saying. Nach mir die Sintflut. After me, the Noah's flood. As in, I don't care what happens after I got mine. I pull up the ladder as I reach the top. It's like, fuck all of you. I made my money.
That's a really interesting saying, actually. Never heard of it before.
Nach mir die Sintflut, yeah.
Yeah. That makes so much sense to...
Yeah. I don't give a fuck if you all drown. I got my money.
Yeah.
Can you suffer in quiet, please?
Well, it's like we said, things only suck if it applies to me.
Yes, exactly. And now it doesn't anymore, so...
I can afford it.
Yeah.
So I don't really care.
Yeah.
It makes me money, so I don't really care.
Yeah. That's why I also think it's funny every time... This happens everywhere. Last thing, and then we can go back to the game, sorry. It happens everywhere, but I think rap music is the prime example because, in my experience, it's brought up a lot there. A person who's made it, who's in the top of the charts, goes on a rap song, or any song really, and goes, yeah, I remember what it was like being poor, and now I made all of this money, and I get to enjoy my life, and it's awesome. Basically German rap for like last 100 years. Okay, cool. So you just told us you are now rich, but your neighborhood still sucks. So you've given nothing back. You got all the money, which kudos. I mean, you did something, so good for you. Have you now considered improving the life for everybody?
I think that's a bit general because I feel like there are plenty that do bring back to the community. Not to the point where they don't still have millions on their bank account. If that's
a lot of people do, and my heart goes out to all of them. I think that's the right thing. But billionaires exist, so clearly not everybody and not the people that have the most ability to do so.
Yeah. And how else did I become a billionaire?
Yeah, by taking the money from other people. Look it up.
It sounds like something a person without healthcare premium plus subscription would say.
Yeah, I have a version with ads. Sorry. I have to wait 6 months for treatment.
Yeah, it's a very long ad.
Sounds like you forgot to ask your dad for a small loan of $1 million. If somebody says, unironically, I got a small loan of $1 million, you should be slapped across the face. You have lost all sense of, scale.
Doesn't matter to the majority of people.
No. Back to the issues we can solve, which is hopefully Higurashi. I mean, right now, go vote, people. Please, go vote when you can. Do what you can to make things better. Don't be an asshole. Sometimes it's small things. I see. Rika has that kind of power.
You shouldn't be surprised. People say that maidens of the Furude Shrine have the psychic power to calm both souls and demons, don't they? Even before we discovered it, it was already recorded in the history of the last few hundred years.
That's true. I'm impressed with how wise people were back then.
Beep. The tests are all done.
Rika, good work. You must be getting tired. Why don't you take this and go get something to drink?
Meep. They took a lot of my blood, so I need to replenish.
Also eat something, please. Who did the narration? Did I do it?
I think it was Iri.
Rika took the 100 yen coin that was offered to her and ran out into the hallway. I appreciate Rika-san's help. If she hadn't offered her assistance, our research wouldn't have progressed this far.
Takano would have just kidnapped her, strapped her to a chair, and used her as a blood piggy.
Rika, normal psychic confirmed. I was thinking, because of her cute and small stature, fairy psychic. But I would also be okay with normal psychic. As long as psychic is involved somehow.
But Psycho is, he just mentioned it.
Yes, I was in agreement. What? I feel like there's a conversation that happened here that I was not part of.
No, it was a joke. You said as long as Psycho is involved, I'm okay with it.
Psychic.
But he is involved because he mentioned it.
2 out of 10, Tifa. 2 out of 10. I think he's weak to bullets. Humanity confirmed fairy types. There we go. Thank you, honest_psycho, for making us all susceptible to Nintendo lawsuits because we've all been confirmed to be Pokemon. They have a patent on that. I'm pretty sure they do. Rika is very concerned about her friend with his syndrome. She said she wants to help because of her. Doctor, please take Rika's feelings into account. Of course. We're taking up her precious time every Sunday, so we'll make sure to get to the bottom of this. We may have to put her through some rather rough experiments, but I hope you'll understand.
And we'll never harm her in any way, though. She's such an important person. She's the reincarnation of oyashiro-sama, after all.
Why do I know that if Takano gets a chance to draw blood, she'll do like an extra prick or two? Because she's a god, right? And I don't like god.
In that sense, she's not cruel. Doing that does not advance her plan, or has an advantage in her research, so she wouldn't.
I think Takano is petty.
Nah, everything she does is because of something that she needs.
Nah,
Pricking Rika with extra needles does not advance anything she needs.
Neither did executing the children at the end of chapter 7 in the way she did. She could have just go blam, 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 done. She could have just been matter of fact about this all. But she's all like...
Different type of cruelty.
No. Cruelty remains cruelty.
Yeah, but I disagree here. Besides being high on the moment and being extra petty because you can in a situation like this.
Are we talking about the same Takano that almost threw a fit of bliss when she got to visit Oyashiro-sama's kink dungeon and looked at all the furniture used to torture people?
Yeah, but I understand that reaction. Which is one of the reasons why I always kinda liked her.
I give up.
So yes.
Maybe my line of explanation will resonate with some of you out there. I wonder how people back then found out about the syndrome, and how they knew the Furude family were the descendants of a queen. I'm truly impressed. By the way, there's something I have to ask you. I would like to ask you for permission to collect her cerebrospinal fluid.
There we go.
Also, there's a chance that we'll have to do Also, there's a chance that we'll have to drill a hole in her skull to examine the inside of her head. Go on, Dad. A hole in her skull. Of course, we'll take every precaution. Rika-san is the only one... I can't speak anymore. Rika-san is the one and only queen carrier. We'll make sure that she's safe. Her safety is our priority.
Of course, since Rika-chan is a girl. We won't shave her entire head. However, we'll have to ask her to stay at the clinic a little longer so we can keep our eyes on her.
Ooh, she could have a cool, like, where they just shave off, like, one part of your temple, like this, and then, like...
They just shave a patch at the back of your head so that the rest of your hair can fall over it.
Yes! Or we could give her a cool hairdo that makes her look metal.
The Viking haircut.
Yes!
Okay, yeah.
And then braid her hair over it.
That's really cool.
And try to give her a cool scar if we need to give her a scar, you know?
Thought the same thing about Takano until I was put under Watanagashi. I can change her though, so I forgive her. I think Takano is past the point of changing, but I wish you luck in training.
Can you change Tanashi? Maybe. Can you change Takano? No. I think she's gone.
This woman is a little bit too cray-cray.
Earlier, I was shitting on Takano. I have to give her credit for one thing. I still think she's petty and she would pin you with needles, but she did tell Rika she's gonna put her under while she performs the ritualistic murder on her. She did offer to put her under, so that she wouldn't be aware of what's happening.
See, there's a bit of humanity there. It's not unnecessary cruelty or pain there.
No, I think that's entirely from a scientific standpoint. If you move while I do the procedure, there's a chance it goes wrong. It has nothing to do with sympathy.
I don't think so,
empathy.
because then she wouldn't have risked it.
Just restrain her properly. She can still receive visitors, of course. You're more than welcome to attend the examination. I'm sure she'll be more relaxed to have someone she knows nearby. Do you really need to perform this examination? Is it really safe? I can't absolutely guarantee your safety for either collecting cerebrospinal fluid or for drilling a hole in the skull. There's always the off chance that something might go wrong. Also, Rika-chan may suffer from physical and emotional discomfort, even if my stomach disagrees too. Even if it's this important, we can't perform it without our parents' consent. Oh, at least they're asking somebody, for once.
It's the illusion of choice.
That may be why Rika never remembered her deaths, because Takano would always put her under. Potentially,
That could be a good reason, yeah.
Maybe I'm just coping and looking for any scraps of humanity in her. I don't think there's much left. Just saying.
Actually, I've already talked to Rika-chan about it.
There we go. What did she say?
She said that it's fine.
I've explained to her the possibility of danger, but we still need your consent.
Imagine having this conversation with a 5-year-old without the parents there.
Yeah. At this moment, Rika's dad should maybe think, I don't like these people. They don't seem to just have our best interest in their heart. Or maybe that's how it works in Japan, that they tell the super underage patient first, and then the parents. Also, again, not the parents, just the father, the dad, the man.
Yeah, but he's the only one that can make the decision, obviously.
Fuck off. Sometimes Rika truly believes that she is the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. So maybe she feels obligated to sacrifice herself for the villagers. Yes, she knows that to be true. What an impressive child. Could you please let me talk to my wife? She understands the situation, but I still need to explain it to her. Which is funny, given that he himself keeps saying, I'm not good at explaining things. Sure, of course. Please, talk it over with her. So, this examination is an extremely important step in the process of stamping out the syndrome, right? Yes, it will solve the mysteries of Hinamizawa syndrome for sure. Hopefully.
At least it will be the first step.
That's more realistic. As I've already explained, if something happens to the Queen Carrier, the whole community here may be in danger. In other words, it's possible the whole village could end up with terminal symptoms.
That's right. According to the studies, within 48 hours of the death of the Queen Carrier, everyone with the disease will become dangerously sick. We must prevent that from happening no matter what.
If something happens to Rika, the whole village will go insane. Yes, it's our job to prevent that. It might seem ironic that we have to put your daughter in danger, but this is the only way to stamp out the syndrome. Dr. Irie, I hope you'll succeed in that examination.
As I said, there are no guarantees in medicine.
Why would you say this? I would assume at this point the person who needs to consent to this has been very much informed about the dangers. And she keeps going, there's a chance she might die. We might kill your daughter. Sure. Irie answered with a nod, interrupting Takano's vague response. I will succeed. I'll save Rika-san and the villagers too. I promise. Okay. I'll talk to my wife. I'll let you know our decision. Yes. Thank you. Unlocked? Empathy? After Rika and her father left, Takano started to laugh. What is it? What's so funny?
Oh, nothing. I just thought it was amusing to get permission from both the patient and her parents beforehand.
Rika-chan is going through something she doesn't have to. I thought I should as a courtesy. I would have gotten consent from the man last year had he been in a normal condition.
See? Illusion of choice. Are you being tormented with guilt ever since you started your research here?
What do you mean? This type of teasing was normal from Takano, but maybe she had gone a little too far. Irie made it clear how displeased he was to hear that.
You can only research Hinamizawa syndrome by using living beings. You feel guilty continuing your work because of that.
Says the devil to you after he already pulled you down into hell. Say, well, are you shocked? The man of a house makes the decisions. So glad the world was changed, but even that came with its own problems. Still not everywhere. It's still a work in progress, unfortunately.
Oh.
Generally speaking. Some places more than others. Those guilty feelings are a necessity. Whether it's a murder or dissection, the fact that you're taking someone's life is the same. We have to accept that and at the same time devote ourselves to our research.
It's an extremely impressive theory you have there. Then, Dr. Irie, how many times have you gotten consent before you cut into people's brains?
She has empathy for people?
No, I did not say she has empathy. She doesn't do anything that does not advance the research. Asking for permission to do these things has no point, because I'm going to do it anyway, because I need to do that in order to continue my research.
Riling up Irie about the fact that he still has morals is advancing the cause, how?
Yeah, it's teasing.
No,
It's weird in a research like this that you have these feelings, because this is all part of it.
Perhaps. I think it's somebody who has disconnected themselves from their humanity so much that they find it amusing that somebody is still clinging on to things we all consider to be normal.
But okay, what we're working on is the ultimate goal. Like, you should be honored that you can work on it with this.
Yeah,
Why
discard
do you
your
feel...
humanity, discard the empty shell of morals. This is science. we do need to do these things to get to our ultimate answer.
And also, I don't believe that she has empathy. You can't have empathy in these things.
Carrot is usually easier than a stick, and maybe mocking her smalls will make Iria drop them so it doesn't get in the way of her research. Yeah. Just make him a little bit more detached, just step by step.
And usually, to someone who cannot understand those sort of emotions, it can be amusing. Like if you do not have them yourself and you see someone feeling something that you find is funny, you make fun of them.
That's another reason why I hate Takano, because I believe she had them at some point too. She has just chosen to discard them. And she keeps choosing to not have that part of her life. That part of her humanity.
She had it.
As a child, she did.
As a child.
Tanashi did.
But after that one meeting, I think there was no way.
That's what I'm saying. I feel bad for Tanashi. I don't feel bad for Takano. Takano has chosen to be a mad scientist, yes.
Yeah. I think Takano sees Iria as being weak.
Yeah.
Having humanity to her means having a weak conviction and willpower, which Takano wants to believe she has.
Exactly. My willpower is absolute, and thus I must become as gods.
Yep.
Iria didn't think Takano knew about that.
How many brains have you cut up without consent using your selfish theory that people commit crimes due to mental disorders as your excuse?
That is...
Common sense changes with time. Back then, doctors didn't need to explain anything or get consent beforehand. So I don't think you have to be concerned about the past. It'd be a problem now, but it was okay back then. So that's fine. You feel guilty, and that's why you want to get consent from Rika-chan beforehand, and why you wanted to get it from him, right?
That's not true. In the first place, the treatment and dissection are...
Question is, what was he gonna do if they said no?
Not do it.
I think deep down he must have already known that not doing it is not an option either.
Generally, people only ask questions when they believe the outcome to be what they expect it to be, yes.
Yeah, that is true. Listen, boy. What you want is a stamp of forgiveness known as prior consent. Right? What you want is some stamp of forgiveness, some deception to fill your heart so you can atone for your past sins. If you regretted what you've done, then you'd never get involved with brains again. Yet you're dragging regrets behind as you continue to deal with brains, guilty all the while. If you truly acknowledged your actions as a sin, then you would have refused to accept the appointment as director. Isn't that right, boy?
I don't need to listen to this. Excuse me.
You must listen. The field of medicine is constantly won in battles against that era's ethics and social values. When Dr. Takano discovered the existence of the syndrome, the people in power at the time just disregarded their own ignorance and scoffed it as foresight. But he didn't stop researching until he collapsed. He believed that someday he'd be acknowledged. Even if it was after he died, he still believed in it. He could do that only because of how strong his conviction was. If it wasn't for that, he would have given up. A strong will is what keeps research going. Only the most determined can achieve a result. But you don't have that. You're a coward who still can't decide if he should be proud or ashamed of his achievements. How could you accept the position of director with such half-hearted determination? You knew from the beginning that this research couldn't be brought to fruition without adding further blood to your already stained hands.
Slap her across the face. Just make a snap out of it. She's clearly not having this conversation as a normal human. I'm not saying just randomly slap people you disagree with, but... Nah, it's unfair. I see Takano for all she did by the end of chapter 7. That's not the Takano that Iria knows. God, I hate this woman so much.
You have too much information to still be subjective.
Yeah, I cannot be subjective. I cannot be objective.
Or objective.
Takano is totally wrong, but the same way I felt bad for Shion, I felt bad that her traumatic past is what makes her this kind of person who sees morals and empathy as weakness. Empathy was enough to change the world. She wouldn't have suffered loss and abuse.
Well, experiences are what make a person. And that person decides how that will shape him.
The problem with empathy is that you would need everybody to have at least some measure of it. And some people clearly don't. Just this chapter alone, if the people running the orphanage had even a modicum of empathy, they wouldn't have done these things to these kids. So, you know, there's always a moral jump off when we see why they do such horrible things, but still we know it cannot be accepted. Yes, and I feel like with Irie what they're going for is exactly that question. I cannot accept that he lobotomized people without their consent. And neither can he. So I can see the human struggle in him. And I like that. That makes him human. That makes him relatable. He has done things he now later comes to regret. At the same time, he's forced in a position where he must continue to do these things for the greater good. That's a shitty place to be in.
But he still chooses to continue.
Yes. Trying to tell himself that the reasons are just and noble and therefore worth it to do these things. He, in a way, continues, currently at least, to become the villain for the greater good. If everybody will hate him in the end for having performed these lobotomies on people, but if he fixes Hinamizawa syndrome, it will have been worth it. The end justifies the means. That's the question, does it? I can totally understand Takano's disregard of empathy. I can understand her hatred for concepts of fate and God. It still doesn't make her actions any less inhuman. Yes.
She definitely had to throw some of that humanity aside.
I don't know what to say. Maybe I am half-hearted.
Then why don't you resign?
This can all be boiled down to take care of children. Yes, I
Not
assume
always enough.
I assume the anger I added on top of how you wrote it. But yes, and you can then spread it out a little bit and don't be a piece of shit to other living beings.
But that's not always enough. You have plenty of people who had a perfectly fine past who end up being the most fucked up people on this planet.
That's why I'm saying don't be a piece of shit to other people. Let's assume this. I am a Takano-like person, and at some point people have taken care of me as a child. Cool, awesome. But I'm kind of like Takano, and for whatever reason, at some point I realized I would be okay with murdering somebody. Then if you go with don't be a piece of shit to other people, you don't. The least I can do is not making shit worse. Yes.
That, absolutely.
Yes. 100%.
Have you seen the anime
Takopi's
Takopi's Original Sin?
The message is very relevant to that anime. No, I haven't. And currently, I don't think I have the emotional capacity to do so even.
I have not heard of it, but I'm gonna look that up. Let me
Copy
quickly...
that, but I'm not willing to watch that until we're done with Higurashi and I've been able to process
I don't need to watch that with
the
you.
process. Psycho says, amazing show.
Okay, I
The art style looks cute.
might watch
People
it
Google it.
myself.
Come, let's get through this fragment.
Yeah, I'm leaving this open.
I feel like we've only gotten 2 fragments down.
You could have already pressed enter in the meantime. My line isn't even ready.
Is this not Takano?
Yeah, I've already said that.
I haven't heard it. Could you please do it again for me?
Then why don't you resign? You'll still have the obligation to keep things secret, but at least you won't have to feel guilty anymore. You may be my partner, but you're also simply a person who was requested by my client. Now that this research institute is fully developed, you aren't needed. If you don't even have the necessary determination to do research to begin with, you're an especially useless partner. I'll never quit researching. I'm not afraid of guilt or regret. My conviction is what will take me to the future. Just like Dr. Takano succeeded, I'll succeed alone.
That's impressive. However, though my determination may not come close to yours, I too have a will, and that's why I'm here. As you said, I already have blood on my hands. After I arrived in Hinamizawa, they got even bloodier. So I can't just run from my responsibilities. I'll probably continue to be tormented by my unatoned sins, but I won't run. I'll get to the bottom of Hinamizawa syndrome. That's the least I can do for all the people who gave their lives for this research, and also for those who will give their lives from now on. That's an admirable determination. Ranger, thank you for the lurk if you can still hear this. Please enjoy your lunch. Oh, poopy diapers changed. Time to get Eli to bed for afternoon naps. Good luck with the naps.
GG, Ranger.
Thought it was the honorable lunch.
That's where you're wrong, Takano. You can't succeed alone. I think I think Takano could.
I don't think she does it alone. It's a matter of, I will just do your steps too. I'll get somebody else to do them. In the end, it's still me, but I'll just get somebody else. I'll replace you. I don't care.
I think she would have been fine by not replacing Irie.
Yeah, but can she do the medical procedures? Irie wore a determined look on his face. He appeared different from even a moment before when he was baffled by Takano having brought up those painful memories. And for a short while, Irie's eyes displayed his strong will, and then he turned around. We'll probably get consent for Rika-chan's
Extermination.
I'm in full-on murder mode now. We'll probably get consent for Rika-chan's examination, so please start preparing for it.
For 8 chapters we've been trying to prevent extermination, and suddenly there's permission. 1.5 years spent on...
Well, if you can't get around, maybe you need to go through.
saying no to extermination.
Say no to extermination. It took our main characters 6 or 7 chapters to realize they can't do anything alone.
Yeah,
I hear
but
you.
Takano is built differently.
I agree, but I think it's a matter of I don't need you. If you don't do it, I'll replace you. That's the I'll do it alone, as in without you.
I understand. Director.
They can't drill a hole in your skull without your consent, except in Japan, until the 1960s, I think it was. They got their consent the following week. I love how this fragment just ends. They got the consent for it. Just matter of fact. It's done.
I would have really liked it if they didn't get consent.
Of course you would have. Why is that the case, Tifa?
Because then they would still have to go into the... how they still did it and got away with it, or how they still did it and sussed things over with the family, but then the entire research wouldn't have gone as it did. But kinda puts her on the spot.
Do you want to do one more or call it a night here?
No, call it a night. It's gonna be early tomorrow.
I feel like we're slowing down with her fragments. Then again, today Tifa was very busy talking about genitals.
They're also a bit longer.
I think they're roughly all about the same length, honestly.
Some are definitely longer. Also, you went into an entire political debate. That took much longer. Don't even put this on me.
Tifa, I found the car in the ditch and I decided to change the tires. You had rallied it off course way before that.
No. My off course didn't take as long.
I think it's a fair statement. But we wouldn't be us if it wasn't for all of us. Maybe we will finish to start November.
I have a feeling it's gonna take a little bit longer.
I did one thing. I looked something up about Higurashi without spoilers, promise, swear to God. Somebody on Reddit posted the word count for all the chapters. And if I recall correctly, chapter 8 has twice the word count of chapter 1. So I maintain that we will finish Higurashi this year. Do I think we'll be anywhere near close in 4 weeks? I am not so sure about that part anymore.
On the
But I
bright
want to.
side, we have no holiday in between.
Yeah, that's true.
So at least, if everything goes as planned, we can continue and we will focus a bit more on Higurashi.
Hasn't it been said when Umineko is just as long or longer than the Bible? 50% longer. Yeah, they're both longer. Umineko is longer, but Higurashi is already longer than the Bible. Not Old, not New Testament, the Bible. The whole thing.
We've had that discussion a bit more often because originally our plan was to also do Umineko after Higurashi. But considering how long we took here, Umineko is gonna be a 4-year commitment.
It's a very firm, probably not. Just
At least on stream, yeah.
It's too big.
Umineko is an offline thing.
Umineko is, if you like Higurashi, go read Umineko yourself. Takano, that's where you're wrong. I can do it without consent if I don't get to know what we're doing. Yeah, basically.
But that's what she would have done. She's not gonna just accept a no. She would have still done it, but I would have loved to see how she would have done that.
She would have just hired another doctor to perform a procedure.
Yeah, that other doctor also would need consent. How are you gonna pull off that you still did it? You can't hide a drill or a hole in someone's skull.
You make him disappear. Why do you think the parents will die? I just assume that either all of the stress is gonna trigger Rika's mom to go Hinamizawa syndrome terminal,
Okay.
or they will be disappeared because they will give consent later, but then they revoke consent because they don't like all of this horrible stuff.
It's gonna be easier without the parents, and we only need Rika anyway.
They will need to be disappeared anyway because they know part of the truth. I assume they've been lied to for at least part of it, but they know, they have answers. They have answers to the question, what is actually happening in Hinamizawa? So we must make them disappear one way or another.
I'm not sure if that's gonna be the exact thing, but we'll see. We'll see.
It's
gonna be a fragment.
If I was one of the Tokyo people, if I told you anything that could lead back to the true truth behind all of this, trust me, your life gets dramatically shorter after I talk to you.
Eventually, yeah, but if you're obviously cooperating.
Yeah, but once I have what I want, I don't need you anymore, and now you are a liability. So,
we'll see.
Bye. Challenge of using rural, religious, superstitious village.
Yeah.
Who's gonna miss them, right? Who even knows about these people? Just a couple people.
That's true.
And who cares about 2,000 people out in the boonies?
But do you know who know? Actually, wait. But do you know?
Tifa trying to segue. Hold on to your butts.
Who knows about Skinner? Soon you, because we're gonna go on a raid in a moment. See, great segue.
No.
Yeah, that was great too. I'm on a roll today.
No. Tifa, no.
Yeah.
No, you had a good idea, but your execution was severely flawed.
Yeah, because that's where we started, but still.
No, let me show you how it's done, right? But you know who's a person who will be known by more than 2,000 people and who could never be forgotten, even if, God beware, he might get disappeared by an evil shadowy organization trying to prop up a country back to its pre-war greatness according to them? Exactly. Skinner. See, that's how you do the segue to it.
I'll give you half a point.
I stumbled over the words. It became too complex.
Well, Jack sets it up. Takano basically kidnapped and used these people as experiments and laughed as the village suspected and blamed each other.
For 5 years! Yes.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Can't deny that.
Yes. And after the first part, I think it's fair to say that they have something to do with all the onikakushis. You know who isn't to blame for an onikakushi? A demoning away? Exactly, Skinner. So if you cannot stick around for a raid, please check out Skinner whenever it's convenient for you. I didn't set up the raid yet. Takano was the imposter. Always has been. Potentially always has been.
And she would have gotten away with it.
If it wasn't for these meddling kids. Indeed. Skinner is currently taking a short break. He is on his BRB screen. Skinner is streaming Silent Hill F. So just so you know, I would be super happy if you came along for it. If you don't want to see it because you want to play it yourself or you don't want to get spoiled, I understand. F, exactly. His stream title, I don't assume that's a spoiler, is Time to Fight the School Bully. Hopefully, after his break, we can ask him how it is. And I'm sitting here, making you all listen to the sound of my voice because Twitch is a live medium and he's still on his break.
He just went on his break.
Did he? I didn't realize that.
He did.
So, Tifa, what's for dinner tomorrow?
I don't know.
Today we did takeaway Vietnamese. It was delicious. And the timer is running out, so I'm gonna press this button. Thank you everybody for listening to amazing segues, Higurashiing with us and talking about penises and vaginas. We'll be back tomorrow with more Higurashi. See you then.
Thank you.